the resistance, and you are not alone. There are pockets of atoms spread throughout the planet. We are going against the function. The divisive tactics that they use to pit us against each other will be exposed. We are not machines, we are human beings. Join the atom effect. Join the movement. This is the atom effect. Achieve things out of mind. If you are hearing this, you are the resistance, and you are not alone. There are pockets of atoms spread throughout the planet. We are going against the function. The divisive tactics that they use to pit us against each other will be exposed. We are not machines, we are human beings. Join the atom effect. Join the movement. This is the atom effect. Achieve things out of mind. If you are hearing this, you are the resistance, and you are not alone. There are pockets of atoms spread throughout the planet. We are going against the function. The divisive tactics that they use to pit us against each other will be exposed. We are not machines, we are human beings. Join the atom effect. Join the movement. This is the atom effect. Achieve things out of mind.
Don't never let anybody take your belief in yourself away from you because they hurting inside. Don't you never let nobody do that. Always believe in who you are in the darkest moments, man. In the darkest moments, when you at that pain, when you at the bottom, know that you're gonna get back up. But you gotta believe it.
It took me 10 years to learn this, but I will teach it to you in 1 minute. 1, life waits for nobody. Get up every day and keep pushing through no matter what. 2, make sure you take good care of yourself. If something happens to you, the world will move on and you will fall behind. 3, if you don't work to build your dream life, someone will hire you to build theirs. 4, work in silence. Celebrate in private. People love to ruin things. 5, don't regret your past. Just learn from it and move on. 6, no one cares. Work harder to become better each day. 7, ignore advice from anyone who doesn't live the life you want to live. 8, rule over your emotions. A calm mind can handle any situation. 9, if you find someone better than you, don't hate. Ask them for advice and cooperate with them. 10, you're truly at peace with yourself when you mind your own business.
Shout out to you if you tuned in, man. If you tuned in, you are the resistance. You are the core. This is the Blac Pill podcast. Yes, sir. Hey, man, we in here, man. Hey, man. They try to stop the show early this morning. They try to mess up the show. I had to reset it up. My bad, guys. Real quick before we start, I'm gonna let you guys watch a video because I'm setting up the poll in the chat. Here we go.
I've never shitted in a tissue before.
You touch shit every single day if you shit.
Why are you touching the shit? The tissue is for the shit.
Are you telling me that y'all just let the doodle fall in the toilet? Y'all don't catch it every time? Yo.
I am about to leave, bro.
How do y'all take a shit? I must have seen this shit wrong.
My nigga.
I've been catching my shit all these years.
Nah, I'm more disgusted than I feel like I can't continue.
What are you talking about?
My stomach
So
is
hold on,
turning.
so y'all just sit there and shit come right out? No way.
What happens if you got the runs or something like that?
Yo,
what do you do then?
That shit, you wash your hands. Why do you think people wash their hands?
Yo, you shit in your hand, bro?
With tissue.
Now, I just want to say, do you see the size of that ninja? Do you see the size of that ninja? That's why I be on 10 with people, because that's a big ninja talking like that. Hey, man, we in the building. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is. And we got a good show for you guys today. My bad for coming in here late. Imagine I've been up since like 8, ninja. How?
What the hell, bro?
How? I've been up since 8 and I still came in late, so I got to make more time to create these streams. You know, I have to think of an idea and stuff. But like I said, man, main topic for today, Halle Bailey accuses ex-boyfriend doodoo garbage. Shout out to DDG, man. Shout out to DDG. Of physical and verbal abuse and gets a temporary restraining order. Ninja.
Ninja's getting caught up out here in these streets. So we got a lot to cover today, man. We got to cover Diddy. We're gonna cover DDG and some other stuff. News going on in the world. So like I said, man, shout out to you if you tuned into the morning show. Hit the like button. Tell us what you think in the comments if you can, and if you can't, hey man, don't get in trouble at work. Secondly, if you can donate, support us at Ko-Fi. Step into the core if you will. Yeah, man, let's have a good show today. Now, before we get started, y'all bear with me while I finish making up this this poll. Hold on, let me finish this poll. Let me see. 1 second. 1 second. Bear with me. And here we go. All right. So the question is, do you think DDG put hands on Haley? Vote / tell us what you think in the comment section. He did it. And the choices are he did it or she capping. All right. And I'll let you guys decide. Let me start the poll. Shout out to Rumble. What up to our Rumble supporters? Y'all know what it is. Wi-Fi should be good. We paid the Wi-Fi. Shout out to Black Madam for helping with that. We paid the Wi-Fi. So we should be good. I mean, let's have a good show now, right? All right, man. So let's go to Instagram and see what's popping off. And we're going to look at the Diddy case and the Cassie case. Shout out to Big Draco. Shout out to Soulja Boy. He said DDG is a Mitch made ninja for putting hands on Haley. Lil Ninja Pontiac made DDG. If I catch you, I'm beating the F out of you.
What?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know what to say, bro. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to believe no more neither. We got notifications. Yeah, we got notifications. I don't know. We got notifications. Let's see what's popping off. Like I said, let me go to an Adam experience because I have some things I wanted to show you, and that's the main event. So tell us what you think, guys. Like I said, vote in the chat, vote in the poll. I hate that they try to mess up my stream. Let me make sure we good. We good. All right, let's see. So let's go to an Adam experience and tell us what you think in the comment section too, if you can, right? If you can. 1 second. Let me turn this sound back on. All right, we in the building. So to start with, I mean, we'll start with DDG saying that whatever he said. Here we go.
I'll get another relationship till I'm like 49, bro. I'm cool. Cause I got my son.
My girlfriend would never do me like that.
Shout out to Steph is cold.
And now you don't have a son. Don't never believe that a woman won't always try to get that one up on you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's why she went on vacation with the Brit singer dude. You know what I'm saying? The rapper guy. You know what I'm saying? Women always want to get the one up to try to hurt your feelings.
Oh yeah.
Try to probably fuck your daddy, fuck your brother, fuck your best friend.
Hey.
But what hurts their feelings even more is when you don't want to deal with them no more and you getting prettier chicks and your chicken bag is steady increasing. That hurts their fucking feelings.
Oh yeah.
I promise you it do.
Oh yeah.
Because now they can't be a part of that anymore. They just get a part of the once a month child support payment.
Shout out to Steph is cold. Now this wasn't the person I was supposed to bring in here, but I mean we'll start it off with that. And yeah, I mean gentlemen, take that information and do what you will, because you know ninjas be in they look. First off, shout out to the ladies, women. What up?
Hello.
Shout out to the women. These ninjas have no clue about nothing. Women evolve faster than us, and women are more manipulative than us. It is what it is. They have to do it to survive. So I'm not entirely mad at them. The sad thing about it is, you know, ninjas be in their feelings about women that they, you know, don't even know. And that's where, you know, people lose me. I'm mind boggled by that. I'm mind boggled by that because, I mean, I have humanity, but it's not my job to save a world. And I can't really save every girl in the world because a lot of women, you know, don't want to be saved. Shout out to J. Cole. So, yeah, I don't really know. I'm not that type of ninja, right? Maybe I used to be, but I've changed. I'm not the type of ninja to save every woman. I just know I can't do it. It's not physically feasible, right? So, I mean, it is what it is, ninja. But we're going to discuss it because it's a learning lesson, and today is course correction on Wednesday. So let's continue, man. So there are things I have to show you. First things first, this is a conspiracy theory. Secondly, this is for entertainment purposes only. We don't know the validity of this, but this is what one of these content creators said. They said the Diddy list is the Epstein list, Ninja.
You what?
I don't know. You guys tell us what you think. Here we go.
I always say Diddy's list is Epstein's list.
I can see that.
I've been saying that.
I can see that.
How was it that that hotel that showed Cassie getting beat up was held for that long, for 10 years?
10 years, bro.
Who's pulling the strings here? You guys have all this stuff, and you guys released that footage just to hang them out to dry. So how much footage do you guys actually have to show what else is happening? As soon as Diddy got indicted, what happened? Mike Jeffrey gets indicted. The mayor of New York gets indicted. All these people start going down. Mike Jeffries, the former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, he gets indicted on trafficking charges and everything else, right? That same company, Abercrombie & Fitch and everything else, is linked to L Brands. Now, L Brands was owned by Lex Wexler, okay? His money manager, leaving his estate to, was none other than Jeffrey Epstein.
Now look, I took that copyright for you guys, so shout out to this content creator. Yeah, man, I don't know what to believe, but it's a lot of stuff circulating right now about the Epstein list. Shout out to Pam Bondi, Attorney General Pam Bondi. If you know, you know. I'm hearing on the net that somehow she's related to that, but I don't know. And we're saying that for entertainment purposes only, because we don't necessarily know the validity of that. And she has a lot of power in this world, or at least in the American free world, right? With that being said, we're supposed to, as far as we know, we're supposed to have the list a long time ago. But you know what the government's doing. Shout out to the Fedi Gov. You know, they're combing through the information, deciding which pieces they'll give us, and they're kind of hiding the rest. Shout out to the Fedi Gov. Y'all know what they do. Y'all know what they do. And we're gonna give you an update on, you know, the Diddy trial. But as we continue, it's more on Diddy. It's a lot going on with Diddy. The whole world's talking about Diddy. I'm trying not to talk about it too much. It is the biggest thing on the internet right now. Like I said, my main goal is to keep you guys educated, entertained, and updated. So this was a Diddy supporter who was spotted outside the federal courthouse during the Diddy trial. Here we go.
Fucking journey get through.
Oh shit!
Look at this fucking journey get through.
Look, I almost this motherfucker scared me. Look at this. Damn, that.
America, I told you that I'm a fucking jury.
But what the hell, boy?
I'm like, do he see the police standing there?
You know when a ninja, look, let me tell you something, okay? You know when a ninja, right? Let me tell you something. When you see a ninja standing out screaming in front of the police, you know that ninja does not care. My advice, leave. Leave. That ninja has nothing. That ninja has nothing to lose. Let's continue.
I was like, he would have started, he would have ran over here. I'm like, are y'all gonna come help? It looked like everybody was scared.
What is your hand?
He is going off right now.
Yep, man. Shout out to the Looney Tunes of America. We see you. We see you. We got TMZ posting another Diddy in intense convoy at Super Bowl party. I wonder if this is actually going to show any information. Here we go. All right, so what it looks like from what I'm seeing is just them talking with each other, and I guess they're just trying to show people that Diddy's hanged around in the past. Yeah, guys, I mean, this shit is deep, okay? I'm gonna just say it. When it comes to these freak offs, that shit is deep. A lot of people are involved. You know, I wonder if they're all gonna be charged as well, or are they gonna all put the pin on Diddy? You know, pin the tail on the donkey, no pun intended, but let's see. We have more from TMZ.
Justin Bieber has made between $500 million and $1 billion.
Fox Tonight. is he unraveling before our eyes?
He definitely looked out of it.
Those videos were scary.
The power struggle fueled by money.
He was on the verge of financial collapse.
And accusations of betrayal.
For the first time in a long time, he has a circle of people that are protecting him.
Find out the source behind his latest struggles.
They are saying this is a cult.
Absolutely.
TMZ investigates what happened to Justin Bieber tonight on Fox.
Well, they just got some free promo. Yeah, they just got some free promo. Hold up, y'all. My shit always tripping per usual. Let me see what else we got. We have Cassie's husband storming out of the courtroom after hearing his wife's testimony. And after this, we're gonna go pull up one more clip actually, where we have Diddy, no, we have Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, because these guys may be next, because this is starting to circulate now in the media. Okay, so here we go.
Cassie's husband storms out the courtroom after hearing her testimony. He's a brave motherfucker for even going in the first place. I know
Facts.
you're supposed to support your wife, but nah, she got to handle this one on her own. Yesterday, he had to hear that she got her mouth peed in by an escort. Today, he had to hear that Diddy had another escort nut all over her, and she took the nut and rubbed it on Diddy's nipples. What in the freaky ass fuck is going on? I would have just stayed at the courthouse to file for divorce. Ain't no fucking way I'm staying with Cassie. Imagine marrying the love of your life just to find out she was a slut, a freaky ass girl, another man's sex slave, multiple men's sex slave. Her and Diddy was on Backpage with it. That is crazy. Imagine.
Yeah, that's insane, bro. Yeah, that's insane, bro. It's a little bit insensitive what you saying, my boy. It's a little bit insensitive. But yeah, I mean, it's like that out here in these streets, people. Yeah, I got no words, bro. Y'all tell us what you think. Hold up.
I think you finna go buy some random pussy and you pull up and it's Cassie.
Yep.
With Diddy trying to watch. I hope this man got a therapist, because he gonna need 3 of them. Talking about he stormed out the courtroom. Shit, I might have passed out in that bitch if I heard all this about my wife.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I mean, it's got, yeah, I personally, I would love to be there to be the backbone for wifey, right? Let me just say that. But yeah, my ninja, ninja ain't that strong, bro. I be trying to tell y'all, bro, one thing about me, one thing I had to do, life's humbled me. So I still have my male ego, but I'm brutally honest with myself, bro. Certain things I just can't handle, right? I'm gonna have to just leave the situation where it's at. So personally, what they going through, bro, and, you know, like I said, we don't shame victims. We're not defending victims. I'm not saying she was a willing participant. I'm not saying she was. What I am saying at this point, to even open that can of worms, if I was her, or I'm not saying if I was her, because I don't want to say that, because I'm all man. Shout out to me. But what I'm saying is, yeah, I would have took the money and just not said anything, because that's a little bit embarrassing to have everybody hear that information about you. We're gonna run that back. Damn, that shit hit home. Here we go.
It will soon, y'all. Cassie's husband storms out the courtroom after hearing her testimony. He's a brave motherfucker for even going in the first.
Oh, and also too, this is a good point that was made right here. Shout out to this comment, W comment. There would be a lot of divorces if all the husbands and wives knew about their spouses' lives before them. Grow up. That's a W comment, right? At the same time, gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, you guys have not lived the life to think that you think you've lived. Women actually live a crazy life, ninja. You'll never know. Not all women, though. Not all women. Some women live a crazy life, my ninja. Only reason why I know is because I've dealt with different types of women. So they've told me, and it's insane, the stuff that they've done. The stuff that they've done, insane. And I mean, I'm not judging. You know, I'm not really judging. I'm just saying you be surprised, because you never know, because how they dress up and how society expects them to show up. So you'll never know. But a lot of these girls out here are 10 times way more hardcore than you ninjas, and you ninjas just don't know it. Here we go.
Place. I know you're supposed to support your wife, but nah, she got to handle this one on her own. Yesterday, he had to hear that she got her mouth peed in by an escort. Today, he had to hear that Diddy had another escort nut all over her, and she took the nut and rubbed it on Diddy's nipples. What in the
freaky ass fuck is going on? I would have just stayed at the courthouse to file for divorce. Ain't no fucking way I'm staying with Cassie. Imagine marrying the love of your life just to find out she was a slut, a freaky ass girl, another man's sex slave, multiple men's sex slave. Her and Diddy was on Backpage with it. That is crazy.
That is wild, bro. That is wild. But I mean, you know, when you got money, you do what you want to do. Yeah, bro. I don't know, bro. That's a little bit insane. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna let him speak.
Imagine thinking you finna go buy some random pussy and you pull up and it's Cassie with Diddy trying to watch. I hope this man got a therapist because he gonna need 3 of them. Talking about he stormed out the courtroom. Shit, I might have passed out in that bitch if I heard all this about my wife. Get well soon, y'all. Cassie husband storms.
Hey, bro. But one thing about it, one thing I keep telling you ninjas that you guys got to realize, it's the male ego, man. Y'all got to get over this thing of where your woman's supposed to be pure, because for some odd reason, you ninjas, shout out to the men pull up, because it's course correction today on Wednesday. You men think that your wife is this pure thing and your wife's not supposed to have her own life and she's supposed to be a certain way. And you just don't have the common sense or the commonality or the mental capacity to understand that this girl did not know you at one point in time and she's gonna have a past. If you can't handle the past, and majority of you ninjas can't handle the past, do you wonder why these women keep secrets from us? Because we can't handle it. Now, don't get me wrong. If she do too much, yeah, I get it. So like, even in this situation, the reason why I said she should have left it alone is because, like, as a man, what's going through your head is like, if she really enjoyed this kind of stuff, how am I supposed to satisfy her from this point on? That's the sad reality, ninja. That's the sad reality. And that's why she should have, I don't know what the motive was, maybe just to put the nail in the coffin or whatever the case may have you, right? But if I was her, or like I said, if you're a woman and you get that kind of money, my advice, and I'm not saying be quiet as a victim, I'm saying, bro, you should have just took the money, bro, because you potentially might lose your family over this. Now, I could be wrong, and like I said, this is just for commentary or whatever the case may have you, but it would be sad to see her lose her family that she has now over this situation, regardless of what happened. Because, you know, it would have been better if they could testify in private about it, like have a private, I forget what it's called in the courtroom, where you have a private, where people testify privately and then they just have it there and then they go to it. It's like a deposition. That's the best way to describe it. But like I said, in confidence, not out in public to where everybody can see the information and, you know, it's on display for the world to see. And all these people are narcissists, you know, so they like this kind of shit. They like the attention aspect of it. I'm not necessarily referring to her family. I'm not necessarily referring to her, but the fact that this was going on for so long, it did affect her, whether or not it was, what's the correct term? Whether or not it was positively or negatively, it did affect her. So we're going to look at one more video. And after this video, we're going to go see the updates on the court case before we get to the main event about DDG. Another thing, ninjas, gentlemen, course correction today. Gentlemen. Y'all got to stop trying to force these girls, bro. We live in a time now. Shout out to the American woman. Hey, bro. You guys got to understand, if you have a baby with an American woman, like the way we came up, women were taught, and whether or not this is true, don't ask me, but women were taught that they're equal to a man, and they're taught to use the tools that they have at their disposal. One of them being police and the court, my ninja. Okay? So keep that in mind when you deal with these girls, because they will use and exercise their rights against you. You don't have rights as a man in America. I'm here to tell you, okay? The only thing you have a right to is money, power, and respect. That's bars. Let me just put that out there, because these are the only things, right? These are the only things where which you may or may not, or a majority of the time, you won't get penalized for: chasing money, power, respect. Anything else you chase in this life, from what I've noticed, people tend to try and use it against you. Let's play this next video, and I'll go more into that as we get towards the main event. But that's just gems for you ninjas, because you ninjas got to wake up to this reality. It sucks, but the reality of the situation is y'all ninjas need to learn to hold your nuts, because if you don't hold your nuts, these girls will set you up, bro. And I'm not saying she did it. Like I said, y'all answer the poll and tell us what you think. I'm just saying in general, because men need to know this. You gentlemen need to understand these girls do not care about you, bro. And this is a thankless job because ninjas barely hit the like button. Ninjas be in their feelings. I'll be like, bro, hit the like button. Ninjas be mad at me for trying to wake them up. It's like, bro, I've been in bad relationships and I've been in good relationships to know these things. Like my first college relationship, adult relationship, I was with a girl who was a church girl, and I'm not finna expose her because it ain't my business. But imagine, it started off perfect, you know? I met her family and all that. Afterwards, it switched up to this thing to where, you know, she told her family, mind you, this girl was engaging in sexual activities before she met me. We grew up together. She ended up telling her family that I took her virginity. And I'm saying this just to show you, I mean, we're grown now. I don't give a shit. But she ended up telling her dad and her parents that I took her virginity. You know, they wanted me to marry her this long time ago, in my youngin' days. And then, you know, so she wanted me to marry her. Her family wanted me to marry her. I'm like, bro, this is like my first serious relationship. What up, Twan? We in the building. You know what it is. And then she ended up telling her family I took her V card. Mind you, she was having or engaging in fornication since she was in like 9th grade, as far as I knew, because that's when I met her in 9th grade. And I'm not saying that I seen it with my own eyes, but she was hanging with the thugs. Like she was with a grown ninja when she was like in 9th grade. And I'm not trying to expose it. These are the things that I've seen. Gentlemen, I come from a place of, I done had 2 ninjas while I was with my girlfriend in high school pull up on me, get my girl's number. And I don't say that proudly. I'm saying that like I done been on both sides of the fence. You know, ninjas wouldn't try that now because I was young back then. So these the grown ninjas in school, right? The thugs and stuff in school. And I'm with this girl, she liked me. And to save me from having to end up potentially, you know, beefing with these ninjas, she turned around and gave him the number. This is where I came from. I'm trying to tell y'all, I really seen this shit. So when I put y'all on game, this is a thankless job, bro. Because a lot of y'all be saying, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You just running your mouth. No, I really know what I'm talking about. Anyways, let me play this video. And this video is to show you guys if my calculations are correct. I think these are the next people that they're going to target. Dr. Dre and Snoop. And they already tried, but I think they may bring it back full circle because this is starting to circulate on social media as well. Here we go.
You want to talk about that now?
Yeah.
Well, break it down. What happened?
I mean, it was a videotape that we did in my house just for my private collection. You know what I mean? Snoop was a part of it. Hey, guy. Somebody stole this tape from my house or something like that, and there's a lot of X-rated things on it, you know, so...
well, listen a second. Snoop, you don't know about this? Remember the tape?
But what the hell, boy?
Yep. So, yep. I think Dr. Dre and Snoop might be cooked, Ninja.
You're on it. It's gone. Bueno? It's gone. So what happened? You had a party? Someone, don't you? This is like the Tommy Pamela Lee thing. It's gone now. It's gonna be. That's worse than that.
Yep.
That's worse than that.
Shout out to Twan. Twan said that's why they keep recording. Yeah, they going after him. They going after. Look, and this the thing too, gentlemen. Like I said, course correction on Wednesdays. Y'all gotta understand, bro. You know, shout out to the younger generation. Shout out to the older generation. Y'all gotta realize, bro, that us coming up, like I'm in my mid to late 20s. I'm gonna say like my late 20s now, I'm approaching 30 soon in a couple years. But yeah, you know, the way we came up, like we came up understanding that boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider and girls go to college to get more knowledge. Who remembers that? Do you remember that? Do you remember that? That's how far back my memory goes. That's what I was taught coming up as a youngin'. Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Girls go to college to get more knowledge. We was taught that women are equal to us, if not better than us. And I'm not saying these things like I don't like women. I love women. Shout out to the women. Shout out to the ladies. What I'm saying is the older generation was taught like certain stuff, bro. Like the older generation was taught certain stuff. I'm not finna say it, but all you have to do is listen to the lyrics of the old music. So the older generation was messing with grape drugs, like date grape drugs, if you know what I'm talking about. You know, like, you know what Diddy was dealing with, shit like that. you know, they was like, it's okay if she says no, it's still okay. That's what they came up with. You feel me? That's what they was doing. And that's why half of these ninjas now, right? Half of these ninjas, they trying to put the nail in the coffin on them ninjas, bro. They trying to do them in, bro. They trying to do them in. Play the bell one more time. They trying to do them in. And the reason why they doing them in is because, I'm not going to say they didn't know better, but that was the thing back then. So that's why you see all these things coming back around. I remember, shout out to Papa Black. That's my dad. My dad used to tell me certain things, and I guess he didn't want to ruin it for me. So he used to tell me like, hey, you know, you get with a girl, you should get a contract. If she says no, the answer is no. And I used to be like, yo, what are you talking about? And then as I got older, I understood. I never really understood because majority of the people I was dealing with were older than me, right? So I was 16 in college. So in college, I'm dealing with women, like all my girlfriends from high school, like from 9th grade, right? 9th grade up, all of them were older than me. So imagine I'm engaging in acts with these people and they're older than me. So I didn't know no better. They're actually teaching me stuff. So the reason why I'm able to come to you guys like this is because I've dealt with older women that actually put me on game. Shout out to them ladies. Shout out to them ladies. So they put me on game. I'll say my first woman that I dealt with that was younger than me was probably when I came out to Texas when I was 20, and that's when I started dealing with women that were like actually younger than me, and I mean like 19, 18. We keep it legal over here. I ain't playing no games with y'all. We keep it legal. Y'all not finna sit there and send me to jail. I don't like I don't like nobody that much where you gonna see me deal with a younger person. Yeah, bro. So that's how I did it, bro. And like I say, y'all should have seen my girlfriend. My girlfriend was bad, boy. I ain't even lying to you. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. My girlfriend's was fine, bro. My girls is fine, bro. And I could have had even better. I just chose not to because I was trying to play sports. I'm trying to do my school shit. Got to keep up with my parents. They getting mad at me and all that. But yeah, I'm saying all that to say we lived in a different time. So that's why we see these things and we like, damn, that's crazy. They doing them in. But we can see it different in comparison to the older generation. You know, the older generation has the idea of protect all women and all this stuff. And like me, right? And I'm not saying you should adopt this idea because I don't want people saying I'm pushing the wrong message. Let me just preface that. Excuse me. What I'm saying is, you know, you can't protect all women. That's unrealistic. You can protect the women in your life and maybe the women that you can see, but you can't protect the women that you can't see. You can try, but I'm here to tell you, you get no cool points for doing that. I'm here to tell you, mind your business. The best thing you can do is mind your business and focus on you till the focus is on you. And the reason why I gotta tell y'all that is because it's getting dangerous out here. So these girls will set you up. And the new thing now that I'm seeing, and I didn't say this, shout out to CGA. If y'all watch CGA, Coach Greg Adams, lawsuit is the new divorce thing now because women are evolving faster than men. So women peep game, right? Women are starting to peep game. Women peep game that, hey, ninjas ain't trying to get married no more. Now you're seeing all these things happen. You know what's crazy? I heard a conspiracy story, and we're gonna go look at the update real quick before we get to the main event about DDG. I keep answering that poll in the chat, but I seen a conspiracy story where they were talking and they were like, oh, you know, what did they say? How did it go? It was basically like, you know, the fall of Rome. I'm sure you guys heard of that when that was like going viral. And the whole idea with the fall of Rome is that women were accusing men of doing things to them in heresy and all this crazy mumbo jumbo. And because of that, that's how Rome fell. We're experiencing the same thing because history repeats itself as far as we know. And I'm not trying to use that as an example because people are like, oh, you know, whatever. You know how social media get about certain topics. But yeah, so women peep game now. Women are understanding that dudes don't want to get married. So how can I get money? What was the conspiracy theory? I want to tell y'all this conspiracy theory because it's important. Oh, I just remembered. It just came back to me. So look, listen to this, people. So there was a conspiracy before all this happened. There was a conspiracy going around, and I'm talking about Diddy and Cassie, right? Follow me for a second. So the conspiracy was that Diddy had his kids and he didn't want to marry Cassie. And because he didn't want to marry Cassie, this is why this stuff is going on now. And like I said, this is for entertainment purposes only. If you heard it here first on the Blac Pill, hey, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. But that's what the story was. They were saying that, oh, you know, she wanted to marry him and have kids by him, and he was like, nah, I ain't have no kids. And then she got so pissed off by that. This is why this is happening now, regardless of all the other stuff that you may hear in the courtroom, because this is just her getting back at him for not wanting to marry her. That's why she left him, you know, and started a whole new life, got married and had kids and got the life she wanted. And that's what women were saying. So I'm just here like, I don't know what to believe, bruh. But yeah, man, they trying to come for these ninjas. Shout out to 20, said Rome really falling. They spin all the legends in. Yeah, bro, this is the world we live in, bro. So gentlemen, y'all got to be careful, bro. And now, like I said, all these videos about Diddy are resurfacing, ninja. Here's another one. I'm just showing, look, guys, this is just what my algorithm's showing me. I don't know if it's showing you guys the same thing. I bring it here sometimes, and shout out to everybody that sent us the videos. This is just what my algorithm's showing me. And shout out to Twan, he said, hell yeah, she wasn't married, she could have left, but needed that security. And it's more so, it ain't even only about the security, it's about the fact that, and shout out to Coach Greg, he said this as well, gentlemen, when you deal with these women, I wanted to be cheap back then, right? I wanted to be cheap in my younger days. I had to realize that you have to pay for these women. If you don't pay, you're gonna pay in some way, shape, or form. You're gonna pay. I don't want to use his coin term, but I mean, his coin term is meat. Right? You're going to pay with your meat. That's your money, energy, attention, and time. You're going to pay. You're going to pay. If you don't pay, you're going to pay on the back end. If you don't pay on the front end, you will pay on the back end. So you better pay on the front end. And this whole issue, like I said, Diddy's going through this now, right now, right? Because he didn't want to pay. But like I said, all these videos popping up. Here we go.
First round, me and you, chop. You got a longer length than me. Stand up. No, I ain't doing no boxing. You should be able to eat my ass up.
But what the hell, boy?
Diddy just something else, bro. Shout out to Diddley. That's what we called him, the Diddler, bro. Shout out to Diddley. Yeah, man. So let's go look at the update real quick. Let's look at the update. But yeah, these ninjas out here, I don't know what to believe, bro. Let's go to Google real quick and let's see what's popping off there. And like I said, man, y'all answer the poll in the chat right now. It's 50-50. With DDG, the DDG put hands on Haley. Gentlemen, y'all gotta stop, bro. With these girls, bro. Ninja. If, like me personally, I've told myself, because I've been in some bad relationships, I try to tell you guys. I told myself, if a woman ever makes me feel like I want to put hands on her, I will cut her out of my life. I don't care how much I like her. Yeah, she's getting cut out of my life expeditiously. I don't care who she is. She could be my aunt, stepmother, grandmother. I don't care who you are. If you get me that angry, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to deal with you, because we live in a crazy time now and I'm too dark. They'll put me in jail. So I ain't doing it. Shout out to 20, said, man, I don't know why everyone's so surprised he wasn't hiding at all. Facts. Yeah, bro. Diddy, I'm a little bit, I wouldn't say surprised. I'm a little bit, I'm a bit shocked, but I'm not that shocked. Because like I said, I've been around real pimps. So Diddy was pimping. That's the thing people don't realize. Diddy was pimping and Diddy was thugging. So you got to think about the entourage he was hanging with before he became Diddy Love. He was hanging with supposedly Biggie, Tupac. Now, Tupac wasn't necessarily a thug, but Tupac ended up transforming his image into a thug and started, rolling with thugs. You know, all these people, he came up with Suge Knight, all these people, bro. These people were like thugs back then, right? You know, the thugs wanted to be rappers, rappers wanted to be thugs. So they're hanging around each other because they like the lifestyle that each of them are living. Ball players, all that. They all kind of hang together because they're all getting money. So when you think about that and add that into the mix, yeah, I mean, Diddy was on that type of time. He wouldn't necessarily do it, but I know he had he had the money. He had the money to be able to pay somebody to do a ninja in. And that's the thing. And the best way I can describe it is like Suge Knight. Suge Knight could have did something, but why do something and incriminate yourself when you can pay somebody to turn around and do something? You get me? Let's pull up the case. Let's see. Diddy news. We need them updates. But we need, let's see, will CNN work, or CNN's gonna make you pay? You know, they probably make you pay. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we seem to be good. All right, so ex-girlfriend testifies in Sean Diddy Combs trial. Let's see. Yep, it was a meal ticket.
We'll be back. I can't believe.
Oh no, y'all get no promo. Hold up. Yeah, bro. Crazy times we live in, bro. But gentlemen, like I said, bro, protect yourself. Hey, ladies, shout out to the women. Women, protect yourself too, because it's weirdos out here in these streets. Like, for example, to you ninjas that find...
Imran Ansari.
Hold up. I got to say this. So to you ninjas that find your way to my page, that try to coerce a girl or try and beat up a girl who doesn't like you or try and cuss out a girl that doesn't like you, bro, you ninjas have ruined the game for all of us, bro. Okay? Let me hit the Undertaker. You ninjas ruined the game, bro. It's not that serious. Let a girl tell you no, bro. Let a girl tell you no, bro. Who cares, bro? I'm just like...
But what the hell, boy?
Ninja can't take no. I could tell you wasn't raised by, like, you had no manly figure in your life. I've had, you know how many people have told me no? I've had jobs tell me I was too qualified. Can you imagine?
But what the hell, boy?
That was them politely telling me we don't want to hire you. You're too qualified. I looked at these people like...
But what the hell, boy?
But you ninjas, if a girl tell you she's not interested in ninja, you guys don't put yourself in the perspective of women, so you don't understand. Do you ninjas understand that women have 100 times more choices of men than we do women? Do you guys understand? Shout out to Rich the engineer. We were having this conversation last night. Do you guys know that the same way we're reaching out to these girls, they're reaching out to their favorite artist? Did you know that? Their favorite celebrity, the ninja that they like the most. The same way you're reaching out to her on social media. Let me not expose this, man. I ain't gonna expose this. Shout out to the women. If you want that information, man, you gotta donate, man. Y'all gotta donate. Let me not expose that information. Ninjas can't handle the truth. Ninjas will turn around, you tell these ninjas the truth, they'll turn around and look at me like I'm the bad guy for exposing the truth. So since y'all don't want to pay, y'all gotta pay. If y'all want that information, here we go.
Prosecutor, trial attorney, and criminal defense attorney here in New York. Imran, great to have you this morning. Just your takeaways legally from day one of Cassie's testimony. How damaging was it, in your perspective, to the defense in terms of the actual charges here?
I mean, it was certainly a strong day for the prosecution. Cassie Ventura's testimony was not only shocking.
Guys, you won't believe what's happening right now. Melody's throwing up, bro. Melody is throwing up. Hey, Melody. That's so embarrassing. We got to keep going with the show. It's about to be stank today, bro. It's about to be stank today, bro. Why you throw it up, Melody? All right, Melody, go lay over there. She threw up some bile. I'll clean it in a little bit. Oh, I'll clean it while this is playing. Here we go.
It was salacious, but it also made out the elements of some of the crimes that Diddy is charged with. And the prosecution wants to do that. They want to bring in a powerful witness like Cassie Ventura to testify before the jury about a pattern of conduct as alleged against Diddy, and also coercion, control, and abuse. And that's going to really differentiate what the defense is going to be coming at and saying that these were consensual acts or motivated later by civil lawsuits. But it was a strong day for the prosecution, and I think we're going to see that continue with Cassie Ventura's testimony today.
Yeah, Imran, I'm curious. The jury has already seen, and we're just days into this trial.
Hey, y'all, real quick. First things first. I'm gonna let the video play, and I have to go give this dog some food because she's throwing up bile. I don't know what she's going through. Y'all put prayers up for Melody, man. For real. Cause she be tripping. But we're gonna let this video play. I'm right here, guys. I'm just cleaning it up and feeding her.
Surveillance video of Cassie being attacked at least 5 times. Does the prosecution run the risk of desensitizing the jury to that video by showing it so much?
I don't think so. We saw a similar use of a video in the George Floyd trial. That jury saw the video of George Floyd's interaction with those officers time and time again. And I think it was a powerful move in that trial. And I think it's a powerful move in this trial. It also corroborates the witness's testimony. So Cassie Ventura is testifying about all that abuse. And it's corroborating those allegations, corroborating her testimony. And it's a strong piece of evidence, and it's disturbing to watch. So it's going to be buttressing the prosecution's theme as they move to proving their case before that jury, while also corroborating the witness's testimony about Diddy in terms of the allegations of abuse. So I think the jury will see it. They may be desensitized in some sense by the end, but I think that the prosecution is going to be able to tie it back in with the charges against him. And it's a powerful piece of evidence. So I'm not surprised that they're showing it over and over again.
Yeah, Cassie, we know when she's back on the stand today, she may also face cross-examination. What do you expect here from the defense? I mean, we know that one of the defense lawyers, one of the women defense lawyers, one of the female defense lawyers is expected to actually question Cassie. But I imagine, I mean, she's very pregnant. She's in her 3rd trimester. It's a sort of sensitive kind of line they have to toe.
Hey, and one thing about it, boy, she gonna milk the pregnancy right now. She's first off, it's tough. It's tough to be what's the correct terminology? It's tough to be on a stand, getting a question about something that was so traumatic while being pregnant. Don't get me wrong, but she gonna be feeling on that stomach the whole time. And like I said, she didn't have to testify. So anything that happens, God forbid, anything that happens to that baby, that's her fault because you did not have to testify. I don't know why she put herself through that to relive that kind of trauma. I don't know why the lawyers even coerced her to do that. I wonder if she'll probably sue her lawyers afterwards for doing that because, yeah, she could have been a key witness. But, I mean, all the information that she came out and said on testimony, she could have just written in the paper as far as I know. They didn't have to question it. It is what it is, bro. That's just how I'm feeling, though, because who knows what can happen. But here we go.
Here, they're defending their client, obviously. But, the situation at hand is also a very sensitive one. What's the strategy there from them?
Absolutely. So the defense with their cross-examination, on one hand, they have to represent Diddy zealously. They have to poke holes in Cassie Ventura's testimony. But when you have a witness like Cassie Ventura, not only from an optic standpoint, she's pregnant, she's been emotional on the stand, but also from the allegation standpoint and her testimony, you have to treat a witness like that very lightly in some sense, meaning you have to be sensitive.
What he means is delicately, people. Delicately. He means delicately. You have to treat them delicately because they're pregnant, especially in the 3rd trimester. You can't do too much. I'm not saying she's like a leaf that can break, but you have to be careful because if you push her too much, you may cause some complications. And that's why I'm still confused as to why they let her sit there on that stand and let them question her. But like I said, majority of these people, even lawyers, people, a lot of you don't know. That's probably why I wouldn't have made it as a lawyer. Maybe, I don't know. I used to be a little bit like this, but a lot of people in that courtroom are very, very, very narcissistic. So they're all, I'm not going to say getting off on this, but they all like the idea of this being played out on a global scale or on a national scale. Here we go.
You don't want the jury to be put off by the cross-examination. And I'm not surprised that Diddy's defense team chose a female defense attorney to cross-examine Cassie Ventura because sometimes when you have allegations of sexual abuse and allegations of abuse like Cassie Ventura is making against Diddy, it's more effective or more palatable to a jury to have a female defense attorney cross-examine that witness rather than a male defense attorney because it may come across a little.
Look, facts. What it comes down to is it's going to come across as if he's berating her. He's being too hard on her because the reality of the situation is, like I said, shout out to the younger generation. Believe it or not, I'm Gen Z. Shout out to Gen Alpha. We were raised to be thinking that men and women are equal, but inherently our brain knows that men and women aren't equal. So if a same man was asking those same questions, and there have been studies that have been done on this, people, if a man was asking the same questions in the same way that a woman was asking the questions, it would still be revered based on the man's stature, height, build, muscular, skinny, whatever the case may have you. It would still be revered that that man was being rough on her and grilling her with questions he should have never asked. Whereas the woman, it may be the same thing, but it's not as extreme because in our eyes, she's just doing her job. So that's the reality of the situation. Let's continue.
Misogynistic, or the message to the jury may be taken the wrong way. So they have to treat Cassie Ventura with some sensitivity on cross-examination, but at the same time, they have to zealously advocate for Diddy and poke holes in her story and attack her credibility as a defense attorney would do.
Imran, can we go over some of the charges here? So he's charged with 5 counts that include racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. We've talked a lot about the video. They've shown the video a lot. One point that we know the defense is expected to make is, you know, you may see this video and, you know, he hasn't been an angel for sure.
And also, guys, remember, so this case is going to last 8 to 10 weeks. I've been talking about that on the last few streams. The thing that's interesting is, you know, I'm so confused because where was the racketeering? Were they moving the paraphernalia? Like, where's the racketeering? Because they said conspiracy for racketeering, but like, where is he racketeering? As far as I know, he was just orchestrating parties that people wanted to participate in. You good, Melly? I guess you good now. But yeah, and then transportation to engage in you know, that stuff, engage in fornication. Yeah, I don't know, but I'll tell y'all something. I seen this movie one time, and this is gonna relate to what I'm saying, so follow me. I seen this movie, and this movie they talked about hell and stuff, like, you know, the devil, Satan, if you will. And like basically in the movie, you know, people were doing certain acts, and you know, I'm not saying that that's what they do per se, but I do realize that some of the acts they were engaging in is supposedly acts that will bring out demons. And I'm not saying that to be weird, so you know, I ain't saying that to be weird. But it's some crazy shit. Like, you had to see the movie, and basically in the movie, like, there was like a pit of like people engaging in sexual activity, right? And in that pit, because they were doing that, the demons were feeding off of it. So I don't know what to believe, bro, but that's the world we live in. The way I feel, we're all demons, and we all fell short of the glory of God, and we're trying to find our way back to heaven. And that's why we going through what we going through, and some just don't make it. And that's why all the crazy stuff you see on the news is going on now. You heard that here first. Let's continue. Let's continue.
But that's not what he's on trial for. He's not on trial for domestic violence. And I think the question is, why not? Is it just because this is a federal trial, or help us understand sort of some of the charges here?
Sure. So a domestic violence charge would typically be something that would be handled on a state level. So here in New York, it would be handled by the district attorney's office, and it would be a charge of domestic violence between, you know, a spouse, between spouses, or a boyfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, or what have you. Here we have racketeering charges, federal charges, and sex trafficking charges. What gives the federal court jurisdiction over that is that there's allegations of interstate incidents, and then of course, they're alleging racketeering conspiracy against Diddy, and that he didn't operate his business or his music empire, you know, as a business or a corporation, what have you, but rather a criminal enterprise. And the prosecution is trying to get that out by showing evidence of, you know, having support from his employees or staffers in order to further some of these freak offs and, you know, these activities that he's alleged to have gotten into. So that's what differentiates it from a standard or state level domestic violence case. But the defense is going to be trying to argue to the jury that this is nothing more than domestic violence. The acts, the sexual acts were all consensual. And I expect the defense to try to embrace the sort of ugliness of that video that we saw and say it's domestic violence, but it's certainly not federal sex trafficking or racketeering conspiracy charges.
Yeah, I mean, we will certainly see that on display, likely when they cross-examine Cassia Ventura, Imran, and so.
All right, so shout out to them. Yeah, man, that was heavy. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just ruining it for the women that travel, because that means ninjas aren't like the dudes with money is not going to take you guys out no more. They're not going to travel with you guys, because if they travel with you, they can't engage in, like, you know, fornication with you. And you know, what's the point of going to another country if you can't fornicate, right? Right? I don't know, but anyways, let's see what's happening right now, right? Let's see what's happening right now. So let me bring you guys up to speed before we get to the main event, and y'all keep answering that poll. So far, we got 75% of people saying that DDG did it. And that's why I tell you, gentlemen, what y'all got to realize is we live in a world where when it comes to domestic violence issues, nobody's on your side until you prove yourself, unless you have undeniable proof of this woman doing some crazy ish. Nobody's going to be on your side. That's why we put the poll up, so you guys can see. And you guys can keep voting. It's all good. I'm not saying that saltily. I'm saying that, like, men, you need to understand this is the reality of the situation. I wonder what women tell their sons, you know, because their sons are going to potentially have to deal with this stuff as well. So let's see. Let's see what we have. Combs' sons are in court. The defense may approach cross-examination. Jury returns to the room. So 32 minutes ago, the jury returned to the courtroom. And to bring you guys up to speed, some of the things that were talked about was Cassie saying that she she was engaging in the freak offs. She got introduced to fellatio by Diddy. That's insane.
What the hell, boy?
At 21. She said she was 21 at the time. She said that Diddy urinated. No, Diddy. Well, basically what they said. Let me stop because it's so confusing. So she said that Diddy would get a male escort to urinate in her mouth. But the male escort came out and said that she was the one that asked him if he does that kind of stuff and whether or not he would do it to her. She wanted it. So she came out and said afterwards that she was just trying to make Diddy happy. The issue and the problem is that Cassie's putting herself into is that just because you're trying to make somebody happy doesn't mean you were coerced. Now, the problem that Diddy has is the fact that Diddy, instead of putting out music, and now we understand sometimes why these artists don't put out music, because these ninjas are paying these women to be their girlfriend, right? It is what it is. I ain't mad about it. It ain't tricking if you got it, right? So instead of Cassie putting out music, he was paying her to engage in these freak offs. One of the longest being recorded was 4 days, by the way. Ninja, that's insane. 4 days, Ninja. 4 days. That's a lot of fornication. Now, I'm here to tell you, I like to fornicate. Right? I like fornication myself, but for 4 days, Ninja, do your private parts not hurt after a while, bro? Like, what are we talking about, bro? Do your private parts not feel itchy after a while? Like, even with the baby oil, bro? What are we talking about? I don't know. I mean, so much to the point that you had to get fluids to rehydrate. Ninja, that's a bit excessive, Ninja. That's beyond a bit excessive, my Ninja. And that's why, gentlemen, I tell you, get control of your urges. Like I said, course correction on Wednesday. You guys got to somewhat get control of your urges. If you have to whack off, and I'm saying the term loosely, but you know what I mean. If you got to choke the chicken, bro, go choke the chicken. Because there's no need for you to engage in intercourse for 4 days, Ninja. That's insane, Ninja. That's why I say it's Looney Tunes out here. And it's crazy because ninjas used to look up to Diddy. Ninjas used to be singing, last night, I couldn't even get an answer. I tried to call, but my pride wouldn't let me dial. Now we sit here, listen to these lyrics like this ninja was talking about all the diddling that he was doing, Ninja. Anyways, the jury sees text between Combs and Ventura regarding sexually explicit video of her. So here's the text now. This was the last 18 minutes ago. Let me see. Cassie Ventura is testifying that she was told about a sexually explicit video of her while they were at an event in Atlanta City in March 2014. Immediately, my thoughts went to a freak-off video Ventura recalled of the moment. The jury saw a text message thread between Ventura and her former boyfriend, Sean Diddy Combs. Combs told her to find out more about what he knew about the video and where it came from. Combs told her to ask the person what the room looked like in the video. You got to tell him this is your life. This is serious, Combs told her. And I'm guessing it was one of these hotels. I'm just like, is it not illegal for them to have cameras in the room? As far as I know, it may not have been a hotel. It may have been somebody just recording what was going on. What's even more crazy, I don't think it was a famous video. Kanye West had a video where they were all in the bed. And ninjas think Kanye's crazy, man. One time for Kanye. Do y'all remember that video? Somebody put the name of that video in the chat where Kanye had all the famous celebrities in that bed. Ninja was exposing stuff and ninjas thought he was crazy. That's why I don't think Kanye's crazy. But let's continue. He said you got to tell him this is your life. This is serious. She met the man and the DJ who had shown him the video at a restaurant in New York the next day. She brought security with her to intimidate the man at Combs' direction. Ventura said her manager, James Cruz, was also at the dinner. And that's the most recent happening right now. Cassie Ventura on the stand. Cassie Ventura, the former girlfriend of Sean Diddy Combs and one of his accusers, is continuing her testimony today in his federal criminal trial. Ventura says Combs gave her a black eye and a fat lip during an altercation captured on hotel surveillance footage, which shows Combs beating and kicking her in a Los Angeles hotel. All right, we already know about that. She testified that her friend called the police afterward, but Ventura wasn't ready to give them Combs' name. Federal charges, Combs pleaded not guilty. Let me see, let's catch up. Let's see. So the early stages, Cassie Ventura, former girlfriend, returns to the stand after testifying yesterday. She talked about the early stages of the relationship. She talked about the allegations of abuse. In her early stages of the relationship, she was really confused. She described him as a fun guy who happened to have her career in his hands, and he called all of the shots. Allegations of abuse. She said there would be some arguments that would be violent and result in some form of physical abuse. He would smash me in my head, knock me over, drag me, kick me, and stomp me in the head if I was down. Combe experienced mood swings, and if she didn't answer her phone, he would call her incessantly or send staff to find her. Yeah, bro, that's the drugs talking, bro. And best believe, you heard it here first on the Blac Pill, they are going to use those drugs. They're going to use those drugs and use the fact that because he was on drugs the whole time, that's going to be one of his defenses. I kid you not. They're going to use that as he wasn't in his right mind. Remember, you heard it here first, people. You heard it here first. Beginning of the sexual encounters. Combs proposed in the first year of their relationship that Ventura should have this sexual encounter called voyeurism, where he would watch me be in intercourse with another man. She says she didn't feel like she could refuse then, adding that Combs controlled a lot in her life. Yeah, man, that's why I say never sell your soul, people. At 22, she started doing the freak offs. She stayed awake for days at a time without sleep against her will. Yeah, man, that's insane stuff, bro. She said Combs was very involved in her physical appearance and had specific instructions for her clothing and nails. She testified that if he disapproved of her, staff took away her belongings. She told the jury how at times Combs himself would urinate or relieve himself on her or demand an escort to do so. Ventura testified that she didn't want anyone to urinate on her and that she felt humiliated. Yeah, bro, like I said, if you know about pimping, this is some real deal old school pimping going on right here, Ninja. It's the truth, Ninja. Now, I'm not going to expose the game, but I'm here to tell you guys, I've been around pimps and they told me about the game. The game is sold and not told. So if you guys want to know about that stuff, hey, I mean, it's no point in doing it now because it's a waste of time and women are empowered now. There's no point in trying to do that. But I mean, hey, if you want to know about it, that's it. You can know about it. Like I said, we're going to keep you guys updated on that, but let's get to the main event today. That's it for Cassie and Diddy. That's it for Cassie and Diddy. Right now, we have a different subject at hand, and that subject is DDG. Shout out to Doodoo Garbage and Halle Bailey. I'm playing DDG. Shout out to Soluminati. I call him Doodoo Garbage because Soluminati said that, so that was funny to me. All right, let's hit this main event, man. Hold on. My bad. Let's hit this main event. So Halle Bailey accuses ex-boyfriend DDG of physical and verbal abuse and gets a temporary restraining order. Ninja. All right, man. 4, 3, 2, 2, main event time. Yes, sir. Shout out to Twan, Doodoo Garbage, man. Shout out to DDG, man. Hey, shout out to Twan. Look, Twan put it in the chat. Yeah, man, if you know, you know, gorilla pimping. So what Diddy was doing before we get to the main event, Diddy was just practically gorilla pimping. And there's different types of pimping. And I'm not going to say too much because, like I said, the game is sold and not told. But yes, pimping is a real thing. I would explain to y'all the game because the game, I'm not going to explain the actual game to y'all because ninjas can't handle it. Women can't handle it. Ninjas gonna look at me like I'm the one that I created it. But all I can tell you is the game is sold and not told. And when you see that, and when you see how it is, you'll understand that pimping goes on in every single part of life. There's just different ways of doing it. Your job pimps you out. You didn't know that? Your job pays you. And it sucks, but it is what it is because we got to bite the bullet. We gotta eat. But you know, your job pays you X amount of dollars, and there's tiers to how they pay certain people for certain jobs. It's so funny because the ones who are getting pimped the most do the most labor, unfortunately. And that's why the way the game's divided, all I can tell you is I'll give you this amount of information. There's pimps, hoes, tricks, hustlers, max. Is that it? Pimps, hoes, tricks, hustlers, max. Yeah, so there's 5 players in the game. Like I said, life is a game and the game has rules. So that's all y'all get to know. I can't tell y'all too much because I had to eat them bullets to learn this. And that's what made me change up like who I was. And you know, the thing is, a lot of times It's a lot of people out here that want to be pimps and glorify pimp culture, but they don't know how to actually be pimps. Because, for example, even with Diddy in this situation, I'm not necessarily saying he's wrong. This is for entertainment purposes only too. But the problem with Diddy is Diddy fell in love with Cassie. So that's where he messed up. And that's the thing. As a pimp, you can't fall in love, because if you fall in love, you lose. But like I said, that game is serious game. I'm giving y'all $1 million worth of game. I'm not putting that game out. You got to donate if you want that information. Let's get to the main event, man. I know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is. All right, man. We got Doodoo Garbage in the building. Shout out to DDG. Blueface and DDG hosts at the B&B, giving her DVD, watching her DVD. Shout out to DDG, man. So this your boy. We ain't gonna play this one.
I probably won't get another relationship till I'm like 49, bro.
We ain't gonna play that one. We're gonna play the different one. Hold on. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Let me see. DDG. Let me see, DDG. Oh, and we forgot to tell you guys about Tory Lanez. This ninja right here got stabbed up by this ninja right here. This the ninja that stabbed up Tory Lanez, my ninja. That was the ninja. Crazy shit, people. That was the ninja. And DJ Academics had the reason why, but right now we focused on DDG. So first things first, we have Hollywood Unlocked. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked. And y'all keep answering that poll in the chat. So we have Halle Bailey's restraining order news hitting DDG's phone while streaming live with Aiden Ross. Here we go.
Feeling like, damn, bro, should I get a stylist? Why are they saying GGTMZ? Let's see. Why are they saying GGTMZ? All right, I'm looking at her story now.
How many people check their phone after hearing the iPhone ring?
Oh, fuck. Fuck all that. Don't even.
That can't even be real.
Fuck all that, bro.
Oh, it's real, bro.
But
it's real.
That's the thing.
But don't even. But you remember we talked about last night? Fuck all that. Let me say something. It's not.
No, I'm saying, but I don't know where that even came from.
Yo, stop these fake allegations. This is a father.
And look, shout out to Aiden Ross. One time for Aiden Ross. But look, what y'all niggas gotta understand, and look, that's why I always say, hey man, this for entertainment purposes only. I don't give a shit about none of these people. I don't know these people in real life. These people don't know me from a can of paint. From a square. I'm a square too. You dig? Don't shoot me. Don't shoot the messenger. Secondly, don't sue me. Yeah, Aiden, you saying shit, right? They gonna turn around and sue you, ninja, because you got money, ninja. They will come for your money. So if I was you, I wouldn't say too much. But here we go.
This is a real person. It's a good human being.
But I don't.
But hey, bro, we on stream, bro.
Come on, like I gotta be.
Just don't do it, bro. Come here.
Don't even make no
Fuck all that. That's what I feel like.
Another thing you ninjas gotta stop doing. Like I said, course correction on Monday. Ninja. It's the art of war, people. This is war. Y'all ain't know life is war. This is war. So you could be mad about it. Why are you letting ninjas know that you mad? Because if you turn around and let ninjas know that you mad, what you say next, they'll turn around and say, look at him being irate, being berating. Look at him. He's a bad guy. Look, this is how he acts when he's angry. I'll be like, damn, that's crazy. And say whatever I wanted to say in private, not in front of the chat. Shout out to Twan. Twan said, I'm trying to be unbiased. I can't forgive him for cuffing a Disney princess. Hey, man, look. And the thing is, you know, I don't know if he's capping, because like I said, a lot of these people that y'all see are very narcissistic. It's tough for me, you know. I be trying to go through this. I'm like, bro, because I'm not really a narcissist. I'm more of an empathic person. But I see that these people are very narcissistic because I've dealt with a lot of narcissists in my life, right? So I'm always trying to figure out, like, does he really care? Is he trolling? Does he actually care? If he actually does care like that, you know, he cared about her, wanted to be with her, ninja, it's your fault for being in love, my ninja. Get over yourself, my ninja. Ninjas be mad like, ninja, if you go have kids with a woman, right? And that girl doesn't show you she gonna be with you forever. Even if she shows you she gonna be with you forever. Ninja, please understand it. If she leaves, you better let her go and not let her come back. That's it. That's it. Secondly, what y'all ninjas gotta understand is, to the ninjas that got some form of clout that find their way to my page or whatever, bruh, These women have clout too. So these women got followers just like you got followers. These women's got fans just like you ninjas got fans. They got supporters the same way you guys got supporters. So y'all gotta realize, her supporters are probably going to go harder than your supporters because women ride harder for women than men ride for men. And you know, kids ride for kids, whatever the case may have you. Her supporters are going to stick with her regardless. And in the case of women, women will stick beside women even when they're wrong. If you didn't know, that's free game, ninja. I just gave you free game. Did you hear what I just said? Women will stick beside women. Now, not all women, you know, you got to preface it with that because those are the terms we're governed by now. And this is gems. Like I said, this is gems. We're governed by the terms, not all, but some. And this is just loosely. I'm saying in the general sense for men, women, dogs, cats, whatever you're referring to, not all, but some. These are the terms that we're governed by now. I don't know why. It is what it is. We just got to roll with it. So not all, but some women will turn around and stick with a woman even if she's dead wrong. You need to understand this. That's why I told you, take my advice right here. If you didn't understand everything I said up till now, take my advice right now. If you're dealing with somebody, man, woman, children get a pass. But even then, if a child can't control themselves and that child can't get under control, my advice to you, distance yourself from that kid because it's not going to end well and they're going to point the finger at you. But in the case of the adults, right, the people who are supposed to be adults that are big children, let me say this, right? If you turn around and deal with somebody, man or woman, shout out to the alphabet boys and girls, the LGBTQIA+, if you deal with somebody that potentially makes you want to put hands on them, my advice to you is to leave them people alone. Me personally, if I deal with somebody that makes me so angry to the point where I want to, you know, be physical, I don't want to be around you. I feel like you have too much power over me. I don't want to be around you. I won't talk to you. I'll cut you off and I'll pray and talk about the good times and remember those times about you. I don't want to make it worse than what it is. And it's all good. I ain't holding grudges. We could keep on going on with life. Shout out to Twan. Twan said, hell yeah, DDG been too viral. They had to attack him. He's definitely not beating a Disney campaign run. Facts. Facts. And that's what y'all have to realize. Do y'all understand that women without any proof can turn around and pull a domestic charge on you? Whereas if you did the same thing, you would have to provide extenuating or a large amount of proof, ninja. Please understand that. Y'all got to be more mindful out here. They don't care, bro. You'd have to prove it. And even then, they probably wouldn't do anything unless you vehemently tell them, I need to press charges. I need to press charges. I want to press charges. They'll turn around and laugh at you. And that's the world we live in. And that's why I keep the distance from people, because I ain't got time to play the game. I'm not trying to fake the funk. Let's continue.
Damn, but should I get a stylist? Why are they saying GGTMZ? Let's see. Why are they saying GGTMZ?
Did we already see this part? I think we already seen this part. Let's continue.
Fuck all that. That's my real friend. We're not gonna do no false shit to ruin this stream. He's a great human being. He does a lot for a lot of people. He's a man. He's a father, and we're gonna respect him. We're gonna love him. WDDG, and fuck anyone who got anything to say. Fuck.
Shout out to Doodoo Garbage. Shout out to Doodoo Garbage. Hey, bro. Like I said, gentlemen, what y'all gotta understand is the women do not care about you, bro. Not all, but some. You see what I'm saying? Not all, but some. But a good portion of women, you know what they want? And I'm saying all women and even men. You know what everybody wants? This. That's what people want. Did you hear that? This. That's what people want, bro. They will throw you under the bus, bro. They do not care about you like that, bro. As a man in society, being a man is a marathon kind of thing, because I remember I used to think I was a man until I got older. Now I understand what a man is. And this is not necessarily my philosophy I want to share with you guys. I'm still forming my philosophy that's ever changing. But what I do understand is you have to put yourself first in today's society. Because if you don't put yourself first, every single person will put you second. Put yourself first. I don't care how nobody feels. Put your emotions first, your feelings first. Put your judgment first, because nobody gives a fuck about you when push comes to shove. That's just facts, people. That's just facts, people. Let's continue. Shout out to Doodoo Garbage.
Fuck the fake narratives, my nigga. Stop the bullshit.
Fuck all that. That's my...
All right, so anyways, let's bring you up to speed. Let's bring you up to speed. Let me see. We'll go to I don't know, whatever the first one that pop up. The Shade Room. Shout out to the Shade Room. Y'all know what it is. All right, so let's see where it's at. Baby oil. All right, so right here, there's alleged screenshots as well. So social media is having a field day over alleged screenshots from DDG about Brent Faiyaz and Halle Bailey. Let's see. Let me see. I'm trying to put it up to where I can see it. Let me see if I go to Hollywood Unlocked again, because I want y'all to be able to see it as well. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah. All right, so right here. So Halle Bailey is making legal moves against DDG in a powerful and emotional step. The R&B star filed for a restraining order after what she describes as a frightening physical attack involving a rapper and YouTuber, Ninja. They trying to do this Ninja in. According to the police report, which was obtained by TMZ, another thing too, fellas, if a woman puts out a police report on you, my personal opinion, she does not care about your life. Because if she's willing to put a police on you, especially as a ninja, y'all know I'm dark out here in these streets. So any woman that will potentially threaten me with a police report, I'm gonna say, okay, you won. You're never gonna see me again, bro. I'm going to leave. There's no way you can convince. You're not gonna be the nail in my coffin, bro. There's no way, bro. There's no way. Shout out to Twan. Twan said that Disney promotion has me thinking Halle was the innocent, quiet one. Nah, bro. They all bad, bro. Because I'm going to show you some stuff about Halle in a little bit. But besides the point, let's continue. I'm going to show you about Halle. I don't know the girl, though. Like I said, I know none of these people. I'm just reporting. I'm just doing my job, man. Hit the like button. But with that being said, you guys got to use these things as monikers, or as I would say, ding moments. These are ding moments in time that you can catch and be like, oh, okay. So I see what the play is. And Halle was at one point saying that she's the type of woman where she has to know what her man's doing 24/7. But according to her, DDG's the one that's controlling. Don't you find that suspicious? Huh? Don't you find that suspicious? Nobody finds that suspicious. So she can be controlling, but he can't. Isn't that normal for both parties to be controlling in essence when you have a child? And it's not to be controlling. It's just, isn't it common sense for us to know what our other partner is doing? I don't know. I came up, I have a different mindset. So I was raised by people who were older than me. So because of that, I think a bit different. So I'm in my head, if I'm in a relationship with somebody or we have a child, I may not necessarily need to know what you're doing 24/7, but I mean, if we're together, it would make sense that I know what's going on with you 24/7. Because what if something happens, right? What if something happens? Here we go. Shout out to Twan. Twan said if she was on the Brent Faiyaz train, she's a track hawk. Yeah, I mean, hey, but look, women think they're empowered now, or women are empowered now. It's not that they think, they are empowered now. So they don't see that as a bad thing. So we can't even shame them when it comes to all that. That's why I don't waste my time. I don't really feel bad. I'm like, I mean, you want to do what you want to do. You can do what you want to do, but don't try and justify it to me later. And don't be mad by how I react. And when I say how I react, I'm just going to shun you. Like, you're not going to be able to speak to me. I'm going to say, hey, don't touch me. Hey, don't touch me. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And it's going to be left there. And you're going to be wanting closure. You're never going to get the closure from me. I'm petty like that. That's just me though. But look, so according to police report, which was obtained by TMZ, things took a dangerous turn back in January. This came after the couple had already split in October. In the paperwork obtained by authorities, Halle claims DDG pulled up to pick up their son Halo. That's when she tried to calmly discuss setting a visitation schedule, but instead of listening, DDG allegedly snapped. Ninja. Like I said, Ninja. Most, not all women, not all women, but some women will paint you as the aggressor no matter what you do. While she was securing their baby, and by the way, the chat says majority vote says she's capping right now. It's 57% to 43%. Y'all answer that poll in the chat. So while she was securing their baby into a car seat, Halle says, my bad. Halle says DDG kept yelling at her, repeating, "Get out of my car, B word." You know what the B word is, bitch. My bad, guys. With Halo crying in the back seat and DDG escalating, Halle Haley says she felt unsafe. Then it got physical. Haley claims DDG pulled her hair, slammed her face into the steering wheel, and chipped her tooth in the process. She describes being in tears, in pain, and emotionally wrecked. Now everybody stop. I need to get one of them record scratcher stop sounds. I'm gonna bring that sound up. Somebody remind me about that. So y'all listen to this. So while she was securing their baby into the car seat, which I would assume was in the back, Haley says DDG kept yelling at her, repeating, "Get out of my car, bitch," with Halo crying in the back seat. Are you guys listening to this? In the back seat. In the back seat and escalating. Shout out to Twan. Twan dropping pimping game in the chat. Twan said, "My uncle told me if you love her, don't give her no kids." Hey. That's facts, bro. That's facts, because you can't. We'll discuss that in a little bit. Y'all listen to this, bro. We're going to discuss that in a little bit, but listen to this. With Halo crying in the back seat and DDG escalating, she felt unsafe. She claims DDG pulled her hair, slammed her face into the steering wheel. You what? Slammed her face, ninja. Slammed her face into the steering wheel and chipped her tooth in the process. So did she not bleed? Like, did she fight back? Like, is there proof? So look, she had pictures of him grabbing her right on her arm. But as far as I know, she said that he pulled her by her hair. Ninja. Ninja. The arm and the hair and the tooth. Ninja. Why didn't the tooth come out, my ninja? I mean, maybe he's not that strong, right? Maybe he's not that strong. But ninja, wouldn't your tooth have came out, ninja, if he hit you that hard to where you chipped your tooth? Because you got to get hit with some force to chip a tooth. I think I've chipped a couple of my teeth chewing or something. So I don't know. But yeah, so from the back seat to the front seat. So I'm assuming both doors were open, right? So was it a fight? Because if you sit there and think about it, if both doors are open, you're being blocked by one door to the other door, because you said the back seat. Now, if you were doing it from the front, and this was, you were in the car and he was right next to you in the car and he was saying, "Get out of my car," and you were right here to the right of me, I'm guessing that he pulled your hair and what, maybe slammed you. I don't know, but I'm just confused because, I'm confused because she said she was securing their baby into the car seat. And if she was securing her baby into the car seat, as far as I know, you can't secure the baby into the car seat unless, yeah, you can secure the baby into the car seat. But I'm saying, like, from the front of the car, you would do that? Or would you do that once you put the baby in from the back of the car? Maybe she was holding the baby the whole time. I don't know what to believe. And that's why I asked y'all to tell me what you think. Let's see what the comments say. Sounds like a classic bitter BM move. I see bruises and a chipped tooth, so until proven otherwise, I believe her. Let's not play with domestic abuse, period. Okay, fair enough. Don't get your panties in the wad. Damn, fair enough. Jesus, baby. You always trying to ruin the fun. Excuse me. This is why we didn't want you to have this baby. Oh my God. So look, and this is another thing I want to tell y'all ninjas. So when women see another woman have a baby, these women now, not all women, but some women now think they have more say. And like, like when they have like a supporter, like they support a woman, they think they have more say when it comes to your own child. Like, we live in a world now, and I'm gonna use Krishan as an example. Shout out to Krishan Rock. And I'm not throwing no shade, right? I'm not throwing shade, but we live in a world now where women think it's my legacy. Like, that's what social media has fed women to believe, that their kids now are their legacy, not yours. And I'm not saying this is the right thing. I'm not saying this is the wrong thing. I'm just letting you guys know that this is a thing. So women think the kids are not yours. They think the kids are theirs. I don't necessarily know if it's all women. I do know because I'm a black ninja out here in these streets, right?
My nigga.
I'm a black ninja out here in these streets. Black women especially, the black American women especially, shout out to the black women. The black women especially believe that these kids are not your kids. You're just a sperm, if that's the correct word. Let me use a softer word. You're just a jizz. You're a nut holder. You are just a means for them to get the kid. Past that, they don't see you as necessarily a necessity. They see you as income now. And I'm not saying only black women. This is the American woman. That's the world we live in now, guys. This is the world we live in. You are just an income for them to fund their lifestyle. They'll have the kids and take the kids because the government's going to help them, even though the government has them confused by convincing them now that somehow, some way, instead of having two people to help you do the job that you're supposed to do, it's easier for you to do the job by yourself just because you're getting a little bit of extra money every month. I don't know what it is, but that's the reality of the world we live in now. And they'll give you every excuse why that makes more sense, and they'll die on that hill. I'm not interested in fighting that fight. What I am saying is, shout out to Twan. Twan said it perfectly. The worst part is it's not even new. It just made it to the internet now. Yes, people, this has been going on. You know, guys, majority of the people back home I know, I mean, I was very abrasive. I can get very abrasive with my words. I'm trying to give them grace. But majority of the people I know back home don't talk to me because I was exposing this stuff. And the reason why they can't talk to me, I understand now, is more than likely because of the people in their lives. Like, it's going to end up causing strife with the people in their lives, because majority of the people that I know back home married, got kids. Like, the people I came up with, they all starting to get married and have kids. And I don't have a problem with marriage. I don't have a problem with kids. But I look at it now like, I mean, I'm going to have kids, but I'm like, what's the incentive? Like, what incentive do I get to continue? It's not even my legacy anymore. So, I'm not saying I'm not going to have kids. I'm too sexy. I got to have me some kids. Right? It's just, women, a lot of women aren't on the same page as men. And a lot of women find pride in not being on the same page as men. A lot of women find pride and feel strong by going against a man. That's what they've been told. And I'm just like, I mean, you could be strong, but at what point it's like, what's the point? And the sick reality of it is, majority of these girls, they don't care because they already know we finna die anyway, so they don't give a shit. That's even more scary, bruh. That's even more scary. And that's why I'm cold. That's why I'm cold on these bras. That's why I'm cold on these ninjas, because ninjas all got their mind messed up because the government is playing a game on all of us to keep us divided. And I'm not saying it's the government's fault per se, but it is because the government allows these institutions to keep doing what they do. And then they hide behind, oh, well, I mean, it just is what it is. It's what people want to talk about. But you allow that to be pushed, because if I wanted to push some hate on my platform, I would get banned immediately. And I'm not saying women are wrong for doing this, but we're dealing with the sins of our fathers. Shout out to the older generation. So the sins of the father have become the sins of the son. So now we're dealing with this shit, and it's just like, we sit here like, bro, what do we do? What do we do? And it's like, we'll still enjoy, being around women, but it's tough now because it's always, a competition, or it's always like, I can do it too. And it's like, nobody said you couldn't. And I'm not saying all women. Like I said, we're now governed by these new terms. What did I say earlier? The new terms were some, not all, or not all women, but some women. These are the terms we're governed by now. So this is how we have to speak. We're literally in a prison of our words, and it kind of sucks. But like I said, when it comes to domestic violence, there is something to be said, because I love black women. I deal with black women. Majority of my exes were black, but there's something to be said about the fact that every black woman that I see that's in a, position of power for some odd reason, majority of them, I'm not saying all, like I said, some, not all, but a majority of them do this thing where they get with a man, have a kid, and leave a man. And then these same people are going to expect me to create with these same people. And I'm just like, bro, why would I create with these same people? Shout out to Twan. Twan said we getting prolific. Yeah, man, it's course correction on Wednesdays, man. It's course correction on Wednesday, so I got to give y'all some knowledge. I haven't been giving y'all knowledge. I've been off my A game. It's time to turn it up, man. It's time to try and monetize. We got a good amount of people watching the show from time to time. It's like, we got to make this shit consistent now. So yeah, I'm like, okay, let me get serious with it. So yeah, I got to just preach some knowledge to y'all, because y'all got to think about this stuff, especially because, like I said, I've been in them situations. Like, I done been with a girl and I done had the police called on me. I done got into it with a girl for her cheating on me. I'm not saying I put hands on her. Imagine late night. I'm gonna give y'all some back in the day, Black Adam, when Black Adam was thugging out here in these streets. I'm in the H with it, right? Ex-girlfriend, I'm not gonna say her name, she knows who she is. Yeah, I'm gonna tell this story, baby. It's all good. It ain't no wax between me and you. So I'm in the H, I'm in Houston, late night, I'm in Greenspoint, y'all know what it is. Shout out to the H-Town. Shout out to Houston. I'm in Greenspoint. This in my youngin' days. I'm saying like maybe 22, 21, 22. So I'm with this girl. I find out this girl's cheating on me or whatever, right? That I'm dealing with at the time. So, you know, I'm like, okay, so we at her family's place. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna press her about it. Let me see how I'm gonna do this. I'm like, oh, let's go walk the dog. Boom. So this when Melody a youngin'. This when Melody's still in my hands. Like Melody's like maybe this big, right? So, you know, I take her outside. We walking the dog this late night. So, you know, I take her outside. I'm like, hey, so I want to ask you something. So, you know, I start pressing her about it. So we get into an argument. So, across the apartments, like on the other side of the street in another set of apartments, the police are looking for somebody. And this is why I'm saying, this is why I preach so hard to y'all, because this is some of the shit I've seen with my 2 eyes. So the police has the flashlights. They're looking for somebody. So they flash the light over to the side of like me and her across the street. They're like, oh, are you putting hands on her? We're going to come and fuck you up. I'm saying verbatim, this is what they're saying to me. So this is what I'm dealing with. I'm looking at myself like, how am I in this situation? And I'm like, oh, this is what I put myself in. I'm like, damn. I told myself, I said, look, I said, God, if you help me leave this situation right now, I'll never talk to this girl again. I kid you not, guys. I go take my stuff. At this time, I had 2 dogs. I had Melody. I had another dog. I go get my shit. I start packing my shit. They're like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, I caught your daughter cheating on me. She a bop. Yeah, I said it like that, bro. Yeah, I used to get pissed off, boy. So I'll just let it fly, you know. And it was disrespectful to say it to her parents like that, but yeah, I had to let it be known. I'm like, yo, your daughter a thought, bro. I'm like, yo, this shit crazy. Y'all niggas playing in my face. So, you know, this bringing me back. So I'm getting a little emotional now, right? I don't mean to turn up. Shout out to Twan. Twan said it perfectly. I fit the description. So I didn't realize back then that I fit the description, and I had to be more mindful. So I said, God, you get me out of the situation. I won't talk to this girl no more. So, you know, I turn around, I pack my stuff. As I'm packing my stuff, and this is why I think God's real. This is one of the examples I'll tell you where I think there's a higher power here. As I'm packing my stuff, they're looking for me. They're walking by me with the light. They're looking, running around trying to find me. I shit you not, people. Are y'all hearing me right now? I swear if I'm lying, I'm flying. They walk past me multiple times looking for the flashlight, flashing the light in people's apartment homes. I'm packing all my stuff and putting my stuff into my whip. My whip is my car, for those of you who don't know. I pack the dogs, put the dogs in. I drive off right by the police car. So imagine the way they set up in the apartments, they had 2 police cars, one looking one way, one looking the other way, because they're looking for me with the lights on. Drove right past them, bro, and drove back to my crib, bro. Drove right past them, and that's why I say God is real. But look, at the same time, I didn't learn my lesson, because guess what? I didn't learn my lesson because 1, I put myself in that situation. 2, our relationship was not positive. Our relationship was not healthy. And 3, guess what my dumb ass did? Because I was a youngin'. I went back to her like a stupid ass ninja, okay? Like a stupid ass ninja. Wait, hold on. I hit the wrong one. Yes, bro. Yes, bro. That's what I did. And that's why I tell you guys the things I tell you guys. That's just a little bit of Black Adam's story. I don't like to share the story. And like I said, she wasn't entirely in the wrong. Like I said, Black Adam, and I hate to refer to myself in the third person, but I have to make a point. I've been through life. Like, I've lived on the dark side of life. Like, there was a point in time I was dealing with 2 girls who knew about each other. Like, imagine. And they didn't like each other, and they wanted to fight each other. This is the lifestyle I was living, and that's why I always tell y'all, I'm a square. I'm a square because I've lived a life. Like, you know how they talk about power and like them shows. I don't even know them shows. I'm not saying, first off, I ain't off nobody. Let's just put that out there. Okay? I ain't off nobody. But I've lived a life that you could put in a movie. Like, I could write my life down and tell y'all how I was living, and you would think it was a movie, okay? And that's why I try and preach to y'all. Shout out to Twan. He said better to learn early. So yeah, with this situation, I told y'all that to tell y'all this. Y'all got to be mindful with these women, bro. The reason why you have to be mindful with these women is because at the end of the day, when push come to shove, nobody's going to care. So when them police saw me, they saw I was trying to tell her to come look. I was saying, hey, I grabbed her to make her read the messages because she was trying to lie to me and say it was bullshit. I'm like, bro, how's this bullshit? They see me touch her arm and they was going to come whoop my ass. That's what they was coming to do, bro. I'm telling y'all, this is real shit. They was coming to come fuck me up. Secondly, I'm 6'1", Back then I was probably like, I'm gonna say 220, 230. I'm like 260 now. I gained a little weight. You know what it is. I'm trying to lose it. But she was 5 feet tall. So in their eyes, they see this big black ninja. Okay, let me make y'all understand this because y'all really need to hear this today. They see a big black ninja looking down at a 5 foot scrawny woman. That's what they see when they flash the light. And I'm dark, so the apartments is dark. We in the hood, like we in the ghetto. So the apartments is dark. So when they flash the light, they see a big black ninja. Okay, are y'all hearing me, bro? Are y'all hearing me? So yeah, they was coming to whoop my ass. But yeah, you know, God looked out for me, and it is what it is. And we still here to tell these stories. So gentlemen, the main thing I tell you, bro, if a woman puts you in a position to where the police gonna do something to you or make you want to put hands on her, cut that girl off. Now y'all see why I have some of the things that I say, and that's why I say with being a man, right? It's a coming of age thing because your mistakes, your trials and tribulations, the thing you go through, the things that you go through, they start to make you stronger. You start to understand, okay, this is how I have to move to protect myself. And I mean, you know, I'll be out, like I'm out in these streets, but I mind my business because I done seen shit. And I mind my business and I peep game. I suggest you guys do the same. Now with this situation with DDG, let's bring it back because I had to bring it back full circle. Another thing y'all gotta realize is people will try and ruin your reputation. So I've had multiple women, right? Multiple women, and we can actually go find this stuff. Hopefully it doesn't affect Black Adam in the future, because if they ruin Black Adam in the future, they have to be sued for defamation. Unfortunately, that's the reality of the situation because Black Adam is a brand. I'm me, right? I'm Adam, but Black Adam is a brand. So I've had women that I've dealt with, try to expose me, you know, on Twitter. Like on Twitter, like try to expose me like on some ish, like, oh, you know, he's dealing with multiple women, oh, he's doing this, oh, he got this and doing this, and I'm just there like, I'm there like, so I've been in these situations, and that's why I tell y'all adamantly, y'all gotta be careful out here because people will take these people's side and look at you like you the bad guy, and you just sitting there like, bro, I don't even know you, why are you talking to me? So I've been in them situations. Let's go to TikTok real quick. We got to go to TikTok before we close this out. 1 second, y'all. Good show today, man. I feel like I'm preaching. But like I said, it's to the youth. It's to the ninjas that look like me and the ninjas who don't. Shout out to my white brothers and sisters. Shout out to my Latino brothers. All of y'all, bro. Y'all need to understand, bro, because what y'all got to realize, bro, is it doesn't matter the race. A bitch is a bitch across the board, okay? And that's just real game I got to give you. A bitch is a bitch across the board. Shout out to Twan. Twan said the other way around, you would still be the dad guy. And yeah, like I said, we're living in the flashpoint paradox, if you will. So the things I know, I wasn't supposed to know about these things. I was a nerd in school. Like I told you guys, I graduated early. I graduated high school at 16. I graduated college at 19. I wasn't supposed to know this information. The only reason why I got to know this information is because of things that I wanted to do personally. I wanted to play sports. I wanted to be a rapper. I'm a rapper now, but I play sports too. So, you know, imagine me being 16 in college. I'm trying to do the stuff that I like to do after I finish my schoolwork. So I'm trying to make music. I'm getting to the studio. I'm hanging with ninjas. You know, they smoking and stuff. I'm around these ninjas and I'm a nerd and they just putting me on game and I'm soaking up the information, right? Soaking up the information. Like I said, we got people, like I'm saying, like people I know back home. We got ninjas back home that we know that's in the pen right now, bro. No bullshit. And like I said, we came up with these people. So we looking at them like, damn, they took the wrong road. So we been through trials and tribulations, bro. And I'm saying that to say, I was just soaking up the game. So the reason why I came out like this is because I started to understand and I started to learn from these people. And at the same time I'm learning from these people were also teaching me. So that's why I don't really have no ill will with you know, some of the mistakes I made in the past, some of the mistakes people made with me, because at the end of the day, we didn't know no better until we learned better, right? It's not really beef. It's like, you know, you stay on your side of the fence. I'll stay on my side of the fence. But past that, I'm not really too worried about them. If I see them, I might say, hey, what's good? But past that, we're going to keep it there. We ain't finna be sitting there talking. It's on site with some people. They know who they are. It's because, like I said, they try to put out negative information about me that's not true. And they know who they are. And they know to stay away. I know to stay away too. Past that, like I said, we keep it moving because I ain't got time to worry about them people. There's bigger things going on in the world than ghetto games. But like I said, let's see what's going on with DDG. Shout out to Doodoo Garbage and Halle B. Halle Bailey. Let's see what people have to say. And this is what happens. The next thing I was trying to tell you is the media will turn around and spin an idea about you. So that's why you have to be mindful of who you deal with. Like as this shit goes up, like when the Blac Pill podcast take off, when Black Adam really take off and millions of people know us, y'all see how I kind of state to myself now, it's gonna be times 10 because I'm not gonna ruin this just so somebody else could be around me and feel good. Here we go.
Halle Bailey has got a restraining order against her ex, DDG. She alleges he was repeatedly violent with her and made her fear for herself and their 1-year-old son, and that there had been multiple acts of physical violence from DDG, whose full name is Darryl Dwayne Granbury Jr., since their split in October. Documents for...
Well, now we know what DDG stands for. Let's go.
Requests in the order say rapper and streamer Granbury has been and continues to be physically, verbally, emotionally and financially abusive towards me. Adding, I am seeking orders to protect myself and our son Halo from his ongoing abuse. She included photos of her tooth and bruises on her arm following an alleged incident in her filing. On Tuesday, a Los Angeles judge ordered Granbury to stay away from Halle and their son until a hearing in June. He was also instructed not to possess any weapons. BBC News has contacted Granbury.
And that's another thing too. Shout out to Twan. Twan said, DDG just dropped the album too called Blame the Chat. Shout out to DDG for dropping that album. We might do a Blacklist live stream. For those of you who don't know, the Blacklist is a podcast, is another podcast that I have that I'll turn around. I kind of separated it because I couldn't do too much because it was kind of messing up the analytics of my YouTube, because my YouTube really is my music page. I didn't make a whole nother page for the podcast. So we had the Blacklist. The Blacklist is when I do album reviews. We might do a album review of Blame the Chat. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, another thing y'all need to know too, if you get a restraining order on you, you're not allowed to have weapons. Also, I believe if you put a restraining order out on somebody, you're not allowed to have weapons. And that's why I let the beefs go with everybody, because I'd rather have my weapons to protect myself than put a restraining order on somebody and they'll turn around and, you know, get somebody else with some weapons to give them some weapons. I'd rather have my weapons. So because of that, I ain't putting no restraining orders on nobody. I'm not saying you do the same, but these are some of the things you have to deal with. So it makes life more complicated. Secondly, gentlemen, y'all need to understand, when women put the police in your life ultimately becomes more complicated. So keep that in mind as well. Because if you want to deal with that, cool. Me personally, I ain't trying to deal with that. Let's see this old footage from DDG.
You see this red flag, you're like, yeah, no, it's checkout time. I can't do that. Something that you've learned over the time.
A girl that put her hands on you, can't do that. Ooh. Can't do that. No.
Damn, that was a serious red flag right now. I was thinking maybe somebody that was constantly texting.
Nah, man, that ain't nothing, man. I had a bunch of girls hit me, man. What are we talking about, man? Fellas, I'm here to tell you, a woman will put her hands on you, bro. Okay? I know that sounds crazy. You ain't know that? Ninja, your mother's gonna put hands on you, Ninja. Y'all better get used to it, bro. Now, I'm not saying to allow it to happen, right? I'm not gonna say allow it to happen. Shout out to Twan. Twan said he's damn near a felon at this point. Yeah, bro, one thing about it, like I said, they love to put the black man down. And I'm not saying that like, I'm saying like based off of what we see, people. I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to fight the race war, if you will, right? I'm not fighting the race war. I'm saying based off of the nature of this, because like I said, the media controls people. They got us looking like these are the kind of people we are, although there's people like me out here. Now, like I said, my hands is dirty too. I've had my hand in the cookie jar. I know. I made mistakes. I'm not perfect, but at least I try and do better and push to the youth to do better. I made my own mistakes. I ain't make no crazy mistakes I can't come back from. Let me put that out there too. Like, I ain't do no wild shit. Most I did got into a couple fights, beat some people up. You know, nothing like to where I'm gonna be sued or like I'm going to prison. No, I ain't do no shit like that. I'm not strong enough. There's ninjas that could do that. I'm not one of them. I'm not strong enough to do all that. I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna pay them first. Hey, you want them? How much? Take the money first. I'll go work for the money. You ain't gonna put me in prison. I'll try and stay away because I don't want to be part of the gangs and stuff. That's just me. But yeah, bro, based off of the nature of what society is showing us, they're showing to the world that black men or American black men, unfortunately, are these type of ninjas. They make it appear as if we're dangerous, low down and dirty, and we do all kind of weird shit. And that's why I gotta tell y'all, I mean, collectively, we got to do better. Don't get me wrong, but collectively, everybody has to do better. At the same time, when it comes to our community, The unfortunate reality of the situation is we shed a light on our community, and that's why these things go on in other communities, but other people are protected. Now, I'm not saying to protect, you know, domestic abusers and violators and ninjas victimizing people. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is when it comes to the black community, and I'm saying black people across the diaspora, I'm saying we should protect our culture more the same way other communities protect their culture. So for example, you don't know what's going on in a white person's household unless you dated a white person. That's bars. You see what I'm saying? That's bars. That's bars. You ain't got no clue what's going on in a white person's household unless you dated a white person. Shout out to Twan. He said, even in the movies, I thought I was crazy. Look, and then just wonder why I don't watch TV like that. Now, I ain't tripping. I watch certain TV, but I watch TV that's very realistic, maybe sci-fi, science fiction. I like action movies, science fiction, and certain stuff. I watch stuff that make you think. At the same time, I like other stuff too. I like some dramas and shit like that. But yeah, like I said, it's by design, people. And I'm not saying that, like I said, I'm not fighting a race war. I peep game. Shout out to Twan. He said every Tyler Perry movie that's not made. It's crazy because I used to tell Papa Black, shout out to my dad, right? I used to tell Papa Black that, you know, I wanted to save the black community and all this stuff. And he used to laugh at me and I would get mad. And I'll be like, you know, why are you laughing at me or whatever? And he's like, you can't save the community. And what I came to the realization is black people across the diaspora are not monolithic in their thinking. And because of that, that's where everybody else wins. Whereas everybody else is monolithic in their thinking, black people are not. So everybody else will protect their community until something happens. And like I said, they'll still protect the community. Whereas black people will love to throw each other under the bus and talk shit about each other. Black people are captured people. And this is the reality situation across all diasporas. And I mean, it is what it is. I'm just talking shit, you know, swallowing spit. No pun intended. That sounded wild.
Well, what the hell?
That sounded wild. But y'all get what I'm saying. I'm just popping it at the mouth, man. Don't get mad at me for exposing the truth. Yes, guys, even agendas. Shout out to Medea. That's another example. Shout out to the alphabet boys and girls, the LGBTQIA plus community, right? Quick bar, right? Quick bar before we get back to this. So look, guys, do y'all understand that everything associated with a negative connotation, and I don't have a problem with the alphabet boys and girls community. I have friends, I have certain people I know who are part of that community. I love them people with all my heart. They cool, right? We love people on the Blac Pill. It's all good. We cool. We ain't got no beef with nobody. But have you guys noticed that every negative connotation within our American society right now always has a black face attached to it? Ninja. Ninja. Now you have to ask yourself, what are the odds? What are the odds? You know, if black people can't really afford it, what are the odds? Is that all they're spending their money on? Then how do they still exist? What are the odds? And then you would be shocked to find out. You would be shocked to find out. And I'm not, you know, like I said, I'm not here to fight the good fight. At the end of the day, fighting the good fight is not going to put food on my table, because me saying this right now, right? If I go to any job and they find this video right now, you know, they'll fire me for exposing that. That's what I'm saying, where it's a thankless battle. Because to go somewhere in this society as a black person, you have to rid yourself of your self-identity. I'm just aware of what's going on. And because I'm aware of what's going on, like I said, okay, I'm going to play my game in a different way. But that's the reality of what's going on, people. You didn't know? You didn't know? Like I said, everybody else's culture. Everybody else, when it comes to negative culture or lower level culture, they do the same things that black people do and then point the finger at black people. Ninja, am I exposing stuff today? For example, Latino women, right? Latino women shake their butt too. White women shake their butt too. But guess what? You don't see it as much as you see ninjas. Hey man, man. I could talk forever about it, but let's get back to the task at hand. DDG and Halle Bailey. And also remember too, guys, that the reason why the black community is in the current state of affairs that it is because of these same things that I'm telling you about. The media perpetuates the stigma. It's systematically designed, people. And like I said, just because I'm able to articulate myself, there are others as well. But the reality of the situation is, we're not monolithic in our thinking, and that's where they beat us every time. And I'm not here to sit there and try and find every person that thinks like me. I gotta find me at this point, bro, because I'm pushing this shit. So here we go.
I think physical contact,
Of
like
course.
fighting and stuff.
You see this red flag, you're like, yeah, no, it's checkout time. I can't do that. Something that you've learned over the time.
A girl that put her hands on you, can't do that. Ooh. Can't do that. No.
Damn, that was a serious red flag right now. I was thinking maybe somebody that was constantly texting.
Nah,
like,
I think physical contact,
of
like
course.
fighting and stuff.
You see this.
All right, so I was trying to find a thing. Twan reminded me, step into the core, people. Y'all got to step into the core. Y'all got to step into the core. I found it. It's up here. Hold on. Let me put this down. Y'all got to step into the core, people. So the core is designed, or the core is something I created. The core is supposed to be something that's to create a network for all of us to congregate and help each other in the future. And that's something that we'll be pushing. You know, we got to build it up. And men and women can join the core. First off, let me start by saying this. It's not a cult. It's not a cult. Hold on. I had to hit the buzzer. It's not a cult. It's not a cult. It's a network. Ultimately, the Atom Effect was supposed to be a network, and it's going to be a network, but the core is a network. So the core is for when shit hits the fan. We have a group of people who have somewhat of an intelligence or an intellect that can lean on each other. So the best way to describe it, imagine a discourse with 1,000 people. Let's say your child's sick, or your child needs this, or your child needs that. You turn around and pop that in the discourse, somebody who can help you. Hey, you know, this is what you do, or hey, this is what, you know, we got Google and shit, right? We got Google. But the main thing I'm saying is you have people who actually do certain things, or who are in different fields, who practice whatever the things that they practice, and they can essentially help you out. It's a network of like-minded individuals. That's what it will be in the future anyways. Let's continue. Here we go, man. So DDG. Now they're saying DDG's mom is an enabler. Let's see what this is about.
Got the type of mom you got to stay away from. Because she posted on Instagram last night on her Instagram story that she's tired of keeping quiet and she's ready to tell her side of the story. And the people are like, what side of the story do you have? Like, this is not your relationship. This is your son's relationship. You don't have nothing to do with this. See, those are the type of mothers that enable their son bullshit. They allow it and they feel like, oh, my son didn't do this, or he was provoked or something.
And look, and this is what I'm saying too. So look. First off, shout out to my stepmama. Shout out to my stepmama. So a lot of people don't know, I was raised by my dad and my stepmama. So the issue is with me, I'm very I have a dominant personality, but I was raised mainly by my dad. So that's why I may come off different to other in comparison to other ninjas. I was raised by my dad, and my dad was just like, hey man, do what you got to do. You know, make sure you get good grades. You could play sports as long as you got good grades. If you ain't got good grades, it's going to be a problem. Education is the key to success in life. That's how I was raised, right? So that's why I come off a little bit different, because I wasn't raised to be soft per se. I was raised to keep pushing the bar. Like, guys, to this day, I was having this conversation with my brother yesterday. Shout out to Rich the engineer, right? Guys, my parents wired me into a way where nothing actually makes me happy. Nothing is ever enough. Shout out to the women. Y'all know what this is, bro. Ladies. Hello. Hold up. Ladies, y'all know what that is. You know you're never happy no matter what you get, right? Some, not all. But yeah, I'm never happy. Enough is never enough. I'm never going to have enough. And I mean, whatever I do, my success, because I don't get excited by things like that. Like I do, but I don't. So because of that, I'm like an anomaly here. So I wanted to tell you that, see, even in some cases, women will turn around. Imagine a mother will try and protect her child, but we live in a society now where they'll tell you that a mom's an enabler. Now, I'm using this situation and I'm using what I just said loosely, because we don't know the full story, right? But what we do know, had to hit my buzzer, right?
But what the hell, boy?
What we do know is, unfortunately, we live in a society where we're told that we're innocent until proven guilty, but the reality of the situation is you're guilty until proven innocent. And that's what a lot of you guys have to realize as well. Because if you don't realize that, you're going to be cooked. You're going to be cooked. You're going to be cooked. So like Twan was saying earlier, shout out to Twan. He said, them allegations scare me. My mom would kill me. Yeah, bro. Hey, bro, look, bro, I'm telling you, bro. I done had girls allegate against me too. I done been set up by a girl, right? And I hate to speak about this because it makes me weak, but I'll tell y'all, I've been set up by a girl I was dealing with. This girl lied and told her family that I put hands on her. This girl was hitting me. I grabbed this girl. I said, please don't hit me no more. I don't want to have that relationship with you. She told her family I was beating her up. You know what they did? You know what they did? They came 7 deep and they jumped my ass. This what I've been through. I'm trying to tell y'all. This what I've been through. So that's why these situations is real close to me, because imagine, this is the society we live in. So a woman can lie and people will believe her. You could try and defend yourself. Depending on how you look depending on how you look is how people will react. So like I said, in that situation, when that happened, the way I see myself, I didn't realize that I don't see myself the way people see me. People see me as a threat. I didn't realize that until I see 7 people pull up talking about you put hands on her and all that. I'm like, what the hell? No, I did not. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why would I put hands on her? I'm like, where are the scars? What are you talking about? I'm like, look at me. If I wanted to hurt her, I was going to hurt her. You feel me? But like I said, that's the reality of the situation. It happened. It is what it is. We're going to let it go. We're going to keep pushing and persevering. But gentlemen, like I said, when you get in these situations, nobody's going to take your side. So your best bet, if a woman pushes you to that point or she tries to get like that with you, cut her off. Don't explain nothing to her. Give her the beauty of telling everybody else why you guys broke it off and explain your side of the story anytime somebody asks you. Like I said, so anyways, a mom can sit there and try and defend their son and they'll still tell you you're the bad person. Here we go. Hold on.
DDG got the type of mama you got to stay away from. Because she posted on Instagram last night on her Instagram story that she's tired of keeping quiet and she's ready to tell her side of the story. And the people are like, what side of the story do you have? Like, this is not your relationship. This is your son's relationship. You don't have nothing to do with this. See, those are the type of mothers that enable their son bullshit. They allow it and they feel like, oh, my son didn't do this or he was provoked or something. No. Yeah, that's what you raised, baby. You raised an animal. You just don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe your precious son couldn't do nothing like
that. And this is what I'm talking about, where people will reflect their insecurities on you. Shout out to Twan. Twan said them type of women don't even care about the dude she sent. Yeah, you know, I could have retaliated. I was just like, there's no point in retaliating because her mom threatened me with a gun when I first met her. And I was realizing I'm dealing with the wrong people. It was my fault because I shouldn't have been dealing with them type of people. Once her mom had threatened me with a gun when I first met her, talking about you do something to my daughter, I'm coming with the gun. Yeah, she was tripping. But in this case specifically, this is what I'm talking about. Shout out to Twan, he said it too. He said, I see why you mean by people, what you mean by people live through celebrity drama. Yeah, so she's putting whatever she's been through, right? This woman right here is putting whatever she's been through, and that's exactly what happened in that situation. Whatever her mom was going through, she put that on me and tried to bleed on me when I didn't do anything. So in this situation, this woman right here has been through some shit, and she's putting that on DDG, talking about he's a monster. And it's like, if he was a monster, this ninja would be sitting in court like Diddy right now. It's like, what are we talking about, bro? That ninja would be sitting in court right now. But because of one, mistake, and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, when it comes to dealing with some of these American women, you're gonna get into it with these girls, okay? If you ain't know, you're gonna get into it with these women. You're gonna get into it with these girls because they're going to buck at you just to see what you do. So either you figure out how to deal with it or you don't, but they will buck at you. But if you need advice, you can hit me up for a consultation. Like I said, I charge though. I don't charge too much, like $20 for 20 minutes. I won't charge too much if you need a private conversation. You need to discuss, you going through something with your girl, come talk to me. I need to make some money too. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I know what to do because like I said, I done been in them crazy situations. I know how to move now. I wasn't moving right before. I was moving too loosely, trusting people that I didn't know. You got to be smart about the people you're dealing with. But yeah, so this woman right here is bleeding on DDG, doesn't even know him from nowhere, and said that he's a monster. She's never met him in real life. And if he was to approach her, she'll turn around and say, look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You can't make this up, people. You can't make this up.
Those are the type of mothers that enable their son bullshit. They allow it.
And wait. And what's sicker, right? What's sicker about it all is you can't see the comments. I still don't know yet how I can show you guys the comments. I'm gonna figure that out. But if you look to the side and you see the comments, it's multiple people agreeing with this lady. Here we go.
Feel like, oh, my son didn't do this or he was provoked or something. No. Yeah, that's what you raised, baby. You raised an animal.
Like, we have women now believing that no matter what, like at the end of the day, a man doesn't even have to be provoked. he just tweaks out. So imagine, she just talking to him and he's just like, he just lashed out, bro. Come on, bro. What are we talking about, bro? Let's go.
You just don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe your precious son couldn't do nothing like that. What do you mean you're tired of keeping quiet about what? You knew he was over there doing that bullshit. You knew he was over there acting a fool. But I guess you felt like, well, Halle made him when he chipped her tooth. She made him. That's the type of response that would come out of her mouth. That's that type of mother. What do you mean you tired of keeping quiet? This ain't got nothing to do with you, boo. She an enabler. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see what Dub, I guess Dub is his brother, right? After seeing what Halle Bailey accused DDG of, here we go. All right, man, ain't no music, man. We ain't got time for all that. I mean, yeah, Ninja, your mouth open. I mean, is it that shocking? Is it that shocking? I mean, it's not, I don't know. I'm not really shocked by much anymore. They say fans are starting to believe that Halle Bailey's claims are false after realizing the text that DDG allegedly sent in her proof was sent while he was live on stream. Shout out to Twan. This is another thing that also needs to be noticed too. For some odd reason, majority of women now, when they get with a man, they're happy before they have the child, and then once they have the child, it's like a whole flip, and they hate that person. It's so crazy because how could you create life with somebody you dislike? And that's what it comes down to, where boom, here we go.
Original video of the DDG and Halle situation saying, why didn't you show the picture of her chipped tooth? Why didn't you show the picture of her bruised arm? First off, I will get banned if I show that. I'm not showing that. 2, you mean the pictures that were taken back in January that she was holding for this moment to save her PR? Because she's been getting fried on the internet lately because of this entire Brent Faiyaz situation. She went on vacation to the Bahamas with Halo and didn't tell DDG that Brent Faiyaz was going to be there.
Ninja, and look, more free game, gentlemen. More free game, gentlemen. Shout out to 20. He said, I feel sorry for that kid, man. He probably just want his family together. Yeah, hey, bro. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, bro, if I have, well, let me not say that. Let me just before I say too much. But yeah, bro. I mean, yeah, man. Worst thing right now you could have is a BM, bro. BM thinks they own you, bro, and can tell you what to do. And if you do the same thing, you're controlling. So good luck to you, gentlemen. But what I was gonna say was, oh, Ninja. Understand this, Ninja. Unless your girl's really solid, gentlemen, are you listening? Unless your girl's really solid, my Ninja. If your girl's not really solid, my Ninja. Unless your girl is really solid, if a Ninja offers her to go on a trip, all expenses paid, she going.
DDG can't take Halo out the country.
She going, bro. Do y'all understand me? Did y'all hear me? If a Ninja offer your girl a trip, my Ninja, you cooked, bro. She going, bro. She going, all expenses paid. Imagine, Ninja, imagine she never been there and she wanted to go. You're cooked. You're cooked. With the baby and all. Now imagine if this Ninja could pay for the babysitting. You're cooked. Even then, she gonna dump the baby on you. That's the real world that we live in, gentlemen. So, I mean, it is what it is. You can find you a girl. You just gotta be mindful that these are some of the pitfalls you may deal with. Let's continue.
And she establishes all these ground rules, but she doesn't even follow them herself. She doesn't even treat bro like a parent.
Shout out to Twan. Y'all seen the chat. Hey, bro. Twan said, damn, she went on vacation with dude and their kids. Man, God knows who to put through that type of shit. Yeah, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. If she did that to me, Ninja, that's the nail in the coffin for me, bro. That's the nail in the coffin for me, bro. Twan going crazy in the chat, bro. Yeah, bro. And that's what I'm saying. So look, I changed the kind of women I deal with. Like, I love the ghetto women. Shout out to the ghetto girls and all that craziness. And I love the dangerous women, guys. I've dealt with women, like I've been with women that were in the pen, like in prison, Ninja. Do y'all hear me? Hold on, I gotta hit the Undertaker. I've been with dangerous women. For some odd reason, when I was coming up as a youngin', I guess because I was thugging or whatever, dangerous women were very attracted to me. Maybe I looked innocent. I don't know. So I've dealt with women who've been tatted up in prison, came out the pen. I've dealt with women who've been on ankle monitors, ninja. Y'all understand? Hold on. Yes, bro. Yes. I'm not proud of it. Let me preface it by saying this. I'm not proud of it. It just happened because I was just following my emotions like a little fish in the sea, trying to find plenty fish in the sea. They got an app called Plenty of Fish, ninja. What y'all ninjas know about that app, man? But yeah. So yeah, man, I've dealt with a lot of women. So I'm trying to tell you, ninja. I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of game, and all the game I learned, guys, I learned from the ladies. The ladies told me what it was. Cause I used to, think a certain way, and then they start telling me stuff and putting me on, and then I start peeping. So a lot of the stuff y'all hear me say, women have told me this, guys. I'm not making this up off the top of my head. The women told me. That's how I know. Even now, I'm not really dating. Like, I'm not in the dating world dating multiple women right now by choice, because I'm trying to build up my bread. And shout out to Black Madam. I got Black Madam. But yeah, I can still tell you the game has changed now. Now it's about the money. You gotta have money. You gotta pay. If you don't have money, you're cooked. And it's just because the way the economy is right now. But yeah, if a ninja got money and ninja gonna take your girl out, your girl is going. If you say let's go on a trip now, she could barely know you. If you say let's go to the Bahamas, she's going. She's going. Okay, she's going. Let's go.
She doesn't even treat him like a nanny. She treats him like a babysitter. And in that same article, bro, he can't even post his son because she's alleging that he's sending her fan base to send her hate, when in reality, she's doing it to herself. I find it funny that she's saying that because she literally weaponized her fan base back in November, and he still gets death threats from them to this day. Being in a situation where somebody put—
Hey, look, and then also, just so y'all know, first off, this is the Blac Pill podcast, people. I'm not DDG. Let me say this. Hold up. I'm not DDG fan base. I'm not what's her name? I'm not Halle Bailey or Halle Bailey's fan base. I don't know these ninjas. I don't give a damn about these ninjas. I'm just reporting on. I'm just doing my job. Okay, I'm doing my job as a streamer. I'm my own streamer. Okay, y'all fuck with me. Shout out to Twan. Twan say he should have cuffed Chloe. Hey man, bro, I'm here to tell y'all ninjas, bro. It don't matter who you cuff out here in these streets, bro. Anybody can get this work. It don't matter what type of ninja you is, bro. Anybody can get this work. Look, you don't believe me? Let me give you some game. You don't believe me? Look, Jeff Bezos is, if I'm not mistaken, if not the richest, one of the most richest people in the world. And Jeff Bezos could not keep his wife happy, my ninja. Did you guys just hear what I said? He couldn't keep his wife happy. Excuse me. Jeff Bezos, my ninja. So you ninjas think somehow, some way you gonna keep your girl happy? Hey, bro, good luck. I mean, you can for a point of time, but unless she wants to stay, like a woman that wants to stay is only gonna stay if she wants to stay. I know that sounds crazy, but that's some free game right there. That's bars. So the only way she gonna stay with you is if she want to be with you more than per se you want to be with her, or she has to like you on the same level. If you like her more than she likes you, you're probably going to turn her off, because that's the reality of the situation we live in now. Shout out to Twan. He said, damn, I heard she became the richest woman by divorcing him. Damn. So look, let me give y'all some more game. Y'all lucky I'm preaching today. We're going to leave in a little bit. I'm preaching today, but look, think about it. Twan said, I heard she became the richest woman by divorcing him. You understand that what you just heard is what other women hear too. And this is why women are smarter than men. And this is why women run the world, because women know these things. You become successful, a woman can divorce you and take half, because ninjas are starting to wake up to it. And when I say ninjas, guys, I'm saying the N-word, but I'm saying men in general, okay? All my brothers, y'all know what it is, bro. My Latino brothers, Haitian brothers, African brothers, white brothers, y'all know what it is, bro. I'm talking to all of us collectively. So look, because men are not marrying now, how can a woman get that same money? Sexual assault allegations, ninja. Police, ninja. That's how they getting y'all now, ninja. That's how they getting y'all now. And that's why it's kind of tough, because any girl can do it to you, bro, and they will have their day in court. If they pull out that case on you, they're gonna have their day in court, regardless of whether or not it's true. Ninja will still have that day in court, so they can make a quick bag, bro. What's 10 bands if a girl ain't never seen 10 bands in her account before? I'm telling you guys, it's tough out here in these streets. So you got to be mindful with these women. But yes, women can make money off of you, make money off of your child, make money off of child support, alimony, what's the other stuff? I've never been married, so I don't really know too much, but I know certain things. I know enough, right? I know enough to think, hey, I gotta stop before I try and invest into this thing, because I don't really know per se. But alimony, spousal support, all that stuff, women make money off of you. And the reason why it's designed like that, guys, is not because of the women. You know, ninjas get mad and blame the women. Women have evolved to be like this because of the institution. Shout out to the Fetty Gov. Shout out to the Fetty Gov. And the reason why is because a man can work more than a woman, right? And the only way a man will spend money is usually on a woman. A man might take himself out, but after he buys all the stuff he has, like, guys, you understand that? Like, I mean, I can switch. I can switch apartments, right? I have a couple TVs. I got my music stuff. Treat the closet like a studio. Do you guys understand that I have everything I need to survive? I just gotta eat now. So I wouldn't spend none of my money. The only way I'm gonna spend my money is paying my bills, and if I have a girl or multiple women that I'm dealing with. So it's designed like that so women can extract resources from the man, but really so that the government can extract resources from the woman who's extracting resources from the man. Man, I'm dropping too much game today. I'm dropping too much game today. Let's continue this video, man.
Puts their hands on you is not right on either end. But she's not doing this because of that. She's doing this to save her PR. She said, show the messages. You mean the text message that she allegedly sent in as her proof the whole time DDG was on live, those messages? If you're a guy and you get posted on all these Shade Room pages, you are the #1 villain. You would never be the victim on the Shade Room if you're a guy.
Now look, that's facts. And that's why, you know, it's times, you know, I want to be known. Don't get me wrong. I don't care so much about being famous. I want to be known because I'm trying to get deals to get paid so I can do bigger shit with my vision of the Adam effect. I'm a visionary. That's it and that's all. But it sucks because it's like they said, if you trying to be on these platforms, right? If you try and get on these platforms, you got to be notorious, unfortunately. That's the best term to use. You got to be notorious. And the reason why you got to be notorious is because at the end of the day, if you're trying to do positive out here, they don't want to see you win and they don't care. They like the negativity because, unfortunately, the people who look at these platforms feed into the negativity. Even myself, I have to feed into it and somewhat play with the beast, if you will, because it's the only way to get people's attention. I don't necessarily want to talk about this stuff, but I got to build up my own following, and this is what people want to hear about. And it's good to hear about it. The only reason why I talk about it, too, is to educate and somewhat entertain. You know, I'm working on my entertainment skills. Y'all know what it is. But really to educate you guys, because y'all got to understand, bro, in this world, don't nobody give a fuck about you. And I'm speaking from being a ninja. Y'all know how they feel about black people. Y'all know what it is. So imagine when I realize the state of my people, when I'm looking like ninja. I'm like, ninja, we're cooked. But yeah, they don't give a fuck about you. They give a fuck about that money, okay? They care about the Benjamins. Let's continue.
Guy. And it got to a point where he canceled his live with Aiden Ross. If I'm DDG, I'm countersuing. I never said that this was right or this was wrong.
Now look, let me stop you right there. Let me give y'all more game. So first off, it's not really wise to countersue. I mean, in this case, Haley may have some money, but if a woman ever does some shit to you, it's not really that wise to countersue. Now let me tell you why. I know that sounds crazy, right? What? That sounds crazy, but think about it. The reason why they'll usually sue you or do something, and I'm not using DDG's example, I'm saying in general, when a woman does something, it's going to cost you money. So by you suing, let's say it costs you money, is she gonna have money to pay you if you countersue, right? Is she gonna have money to pay you? Can you really do anything? So when you guys see all these conspiracies that go on sometimes on the internet, you know we discuss conspiracies sometimes on Skeptical Sundays. Y'all know what it is. But when y'all see some of the conspiracies, right? When y'all see some of the conspiracies that go on the internet, the reason why these conspiracies can even be created is because you can't sue everybody. You can take out a case on people, but if these people can't pay, unless the government's going to pay you, and there's always specific stipulations and requirements for the government to pay you, it has to fall within those guidelines, right? You're not going to get any money. You're actually going to lose money. And that's why majority of the time, ninjas don't sue and ninjas don't do anything about it. Because what can you do? You can only defend yourself. But even then, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is if you try and sue, you might end up losing more money. They might turn around and say, Whatever the case may have you, there's nothing we can do about it. At least you told your side of the story. You know, tough shit. And you're just sitting there like, yo.
But what the hell, boy?
So, I mean, he could countersue. I mean, she might have money, but guess what's going to happen? She's going to get the money back probably through child support. Who knows? So it's like, what's the point? I mean, yeah, I guess he'll give her back the money that he took. But I mean, is that really a win? You know, put the kid through that. Is that really a win? Battle it out in court. Is that a win? I don't know. I mean, I don't have the right answer. I'm just giving my personal opinion. You guys can tell me what you think. Let's see what else. Tia Camp speaks out on the allegations. Did Haley really put DDG on? We don't even know who hit who first. Let's see what's going on here.
I've already seen the TMZ post, and I'm not going to speak on it. So, yeah.
Just vibe, twin.
Hey, man, we're going to stop it right there, man. Just vibe, twin. There you have it. And that's it for the morning show. We're going to be back in here later at 6. Y'all hit the like button. We appreciate everybody that tuned in. Let's see what the vote says. Vote says 11 votes. She capping. We got 55% to 45%. He did it. So 45% was he did it. 55% says she's capping. I mean, me personally, I don't necessarily know what went wrong. What I do know is domestic violence is a regular occurrence, like, because domestic violence is a loose term. I'm not saying physical, I'm saying mental, whatever. Anything can be looked at as abuse now. So when it comes to this situation, I don't know if he chipped her tooth. How old is DDG? I don't even know how old DDG is. How old is this ninja? Let me see. We got to go look it up real quick. Let me look it up real quick. Because depending on his age can determine whether or not he might have done it. I know that sounds crazy, but let me see. How old is Doo-Doo Garbage? DDG is 27 years old. I don't necessarily know if he's about that life. I don't know. I don't think he did it personally. That's just me, bro. You what? That's just me, bro. Don't sue me, bro. Don't sue me, Haley. Don't sue me. Don't be mad at me. I know I'm not in your relationship. I know I should be quiet. I'm just giving my personal opinion since you put it on social media, okay? Shout out to everybody that tuned in, man. If you tuned in, you are the resistance and you are not alone. There are pockets of Adam spread throughout the planet. We're going against the function. The divisive tactics that they use to put us against each other will be exposed. We are not machines. We are human beings. Join the Adam Effect. Join the movement. This is the Adam Effect. Achieve things out of mind. If y'all like what we do, man, hit the follow button. Hit the like button. We be back in here at 6. Turn on your notifications. And we're going to give you some more drama. Y'all know what it is, man. Deuce.